Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like saying through hourglass. I'm just watching these hours pass. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's showing up, man. Thanks for the support. Continue to support and helping the platform. It's going to be crazy months ahead. I'm lining up guests right now for our next show Saturday. We got some guests coming on, and then I'm gonna start lining them up, reaching out to more people after that. And it's going to be a guest field month, going all the way into July. And so yeah, we got to collaborate with other content creators that support our platform, that had me on their platform, and shouting out State of Gaming and telling people to come, like and subscribe to the platform. So I really appreciate them, all of them, from Dirt to Web Dave to Boomstick and so many others. And my guy level one gaming, so many others, man, who support the channel and support what we do, man. And it's just overwhelming. And we definitely got a great show today, man, because it's been a hell of a week for the Xbox community, man. It's been one hell of a week. And I just want to say this, man, to the Xbox. Stop. Look, we didn't have a hell of a week. And I look on Twitter, and what disappoints me is the fact that I don't see the Xbox community celebrating what just took place because they're too busy caught up in the PlayStation bullshit of 30 frames and 60 frames per second. Man, put that dog shit to the side and enjoy this week that Xbox just gave us in terms of content and everything, man. You guys ain't even took a second to really appreciate. I know some people out there. I know people who watch the StarField Direct about 3 or 4 or 5 times. But I'm looking on Twitter, man, and I'm seeing bots ain't even really appreciating or really taking in what just happened in terms of the future roadmap of what Microsoft just put out for us because they too busy arguing with PlayStation dudes who don't even really care about the shit you arguing about. I mean, and that's what they do. They got y'all out there arguing over 30 frames per second and all types of other shit, distracting y'all from the greatness that's just took place, man. So please, man, drop that shit. Ignore them dudes. Them dudes are hurt. Them dudes are hurt. They in
Very much
pain
so.
right
Very
now.
much so.
You know what's good? Them brothers are
What's up,
hurt.
bro?
They are hurt, bro. Y'all
Yes,
see
they
all
are.
the PlayStation content creators. Y'all saw Kratos' face when he on Iron Lord podcast. That boy was hurt. See how many times he swallowed his spit? Y'all, come on now. Hold, you damn right. What King David say? Hold the motherfucking line. Y'all ain't holding the line. Y'all out here getting in all these damn skirmishes. Hey, we don't. Y'all got it. Y'all making these PlayStation dudes matter at a time when what Xbox doing right now should matter. And they on the roll. And we're gonna talk about why they on the roll. And we're gonna talk about why the pain and hurt is out there. But we're gonna talk about Xbox today. We're gonna talk about the Xbox community today.
Post. That is all there is to talk about is Xbox.
Yes, that's all it is to talk about. And we're going to talk about it in a positive light with great energy because Microsoft just laid a roadmap, right? And then they double down and say, we have a roadmap all the way into 2026, 2027. But let's shout out these. Let's shout out and I got the interview that Phil did on with Jeff Grubb and them, where they went even more in terms of they got showcases for the next. They're looking at they got showcases lined up for the next 2 or 3 years already. They're looking ahead of showcases and what they're gonna show for the next 2 or 3 years. So that tell you they got a plethora of content and it works. So many developers, man, they showed so much content at this last show, right? We didn't even think about all the developers that didn't show up that's still cooking, but we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Stop letting them motherfucking PlayStation dudes get y'all out y'all happiness and y'all greatness that was just bestowed upon y'all, man. What are we doing here, man? This ain't what
Facts, bro.
let's
Facts.
go. That's why y'all don't see me on them arguing about no damn 30. And so what? One too long ago, all their games was 30 frames per second, and they was hyping them up.
Let me speak on that post, because I don't think what people realize is the reason why the game is 30 FPS is because it's
wait, hold on. Before you do that,
don't want to go there.
No, not yet. Right. We're gonna shout these people out. We're gonna get through the intro, and then we're gonna start cooking. Shout out to my brother AG. Slow down. I'm gonna let you cook though. Shout out to my brother HB. Said what's good. My brother was good. We got King Reaper 74G. What's good, King Reaper? Always good to see you. Always showing up, supporting. Shout out to myself. Black Krillin. What's good? Yes sir. Yes sir. Alakazam. What's good? Thriller Ali, one of the best spots in the land, always showing up support. My brother Big Homie 2015, what's good? 6200 block. Let's motherfucking go. You already know, Dre. You already know what it is. Real non-stop talent. What's up? Always showing up in support. We got RRJ. RR Jr. 1017. What is the title of that song? The title of that song is Hourglass. It's by Brad Facts. Brad Facts. BRAD FACT. Brad Facts. I dropped the link to the album, or you could go on YouTube. The whole album is on YouTube and everything. Fire. Let's see. Web Day was good. Brooklyn 2700 was good. Tatterman was good. Trey Mac Pamirs was good. Spider-Man 356 was good. Seeing a lot of new names in the chat too as well. Thank y'all for showing up. Joshua Fisher, how you feeling about Microsoft now that they got 5 days? Hey Joshua, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get through the Xbox showcase and all that, and then we definitely gonna do a deep dive into the things that's taking place. Because we at the end, we towards the end game now. We're towards the end of this process, and if depending on how this FTC case plays out, I'm gonna give you my opinion and my perspective on it, brother. My brother Rob, who randomly robs everybody. What's good, Rob? Deploy 619. What's up? Long live the Black Mamba. What's good? Then we also got Verge Brizzle, who always supporting. What's good? Then we got Titus. You know what I'm saying? Titus 24. What's good, nigga? I can't enjoy this shit. I'll enjoy it when the game's drop. Jax 82 was good. Xbox is going in the right direction. Don't care what anybody say. Facts. Talk to him. John 5. Hi from Canada. Oh, from Canada. Oh yeah. Shout out to Canada. You know why I say shout out to Canada? Canada ain't said nothing about this deal. Guess what? Canada operates like the United States. If they don't say nothing or they don't try to pose it, once the amount of time passed for them to block it pass, then Microsoft can already close. You feel me? So Canada, like, go ahead, Microsoft, do your goddamn thing. You feel me? Mustin Gamer, I'm about to call you Musty Gamer, bro. I was sure about to call you Musty Gamer, but I had to look again. Mustin Gamer. Top notch was good. Let me see here. We also got, let me see, Dolo Hove. What's good, Dolo? Then who else we got? The Blue One was good. And my brother, one of the baddest bots in the land, if not the bot, the pure essence of botification. My brother, Max City Entertainment. What's up? You always show them. Go ahead. Max City Entertainment. J-Dub capping on Twitter is next level. The shit he come up with have weak, no lie. But that brother be lying his ass off. He know he lied too. The thing is that the bots run with it and feed into the lies. The real Colito was good. Let me see here. Polly Baba. What's good, Polly Baba? A lot of people saying 30 frames for Zelda was totally fine. Not even a month ago. They can get out of here complaining about StarField. They just salty as fuck. Man, look. We're going to get into it. Shout out to Polly Baba, though. Love of God. What's good, Love of God? I got you, Love of God. You kept asking me on Twitter, was we going live, man? We are live. Double Knuckle. What's good, Knuckle? We got Artist Hines. Master Sif 40. What's good? James Thomas, so many new names. Crunk Ass Chris, that brother, I'll stay on 50. With a name like Crunk Ass Chris, you got to stay on 50. You feel me? Vic the Click. I'm gonna leave that name alone. Joy Phantom Cracker, what's good, Phantom? Child of God Gaming. We got Shane Kovar, what's good? Blase, what's good? Why you so serious? What's up? Why so serious? Born Stella, another new name. What's good? James Thomas with the $2. PlayStation fanboys coping so hard. It's sad. Honestly, look, I can't believe the cope and the pain and the hurt that's going on in the community, but we are definitely going to talk about it. Okay, we got Blase. Okay, that's it. We ran through everybody. We saluted y'all out. Thank you all again for showing up. We finna get to the show. Everybody that's in watching the show that didn't comment, we still want to thank y'all for showing up. And when you can, just join the conversation. All right. All right. Sinelo, close that door. All the way, man. Close it all the way. You in there playing the Apex in your ass, what? Okay, Gorilla One, what's good? All right. Oh, Gorilla One, what's good? Shout out to you. Shout out to y'all. Look, we're gonna have a show today, man, because there's so much to talk about. First, we're gonna talk about our perspective on not only what was showed at the Xbox showcase, give our kind of ratings in our review since we had pretty much a day or two for everything to digest. Then you had the Xbox showcase extended yesterday, where they showed new IP there, they showed DLC on there, and they showed expansions for some games in Game Pass that wasn't expected. So a lot of content, man, a lot of content. So I'm gonna start off with my brother Noah. Noah,
What's
since
up,
you
bro?
done had a couple of days for to kind of sit back and look at everything, probably went back and looked at the StarField Direct or whatever. Where you at in terms of what Microsoft showed? Are you still high on what they showed? Where do you rate the show? And if you watch the Xbox Extended, how do you feel about what they did overall?
Bro, I love this presentation, bro. So I'm gonna give the show overall. The show 8 out of 10.
Okay, 8 out of 10. Okay.
But when you add the fact that they give us another show after the show,
Yeah.
focus more on like smaller titles, I have
Yeah.
to score them about an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay. Okay.
8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
They showed some really great games. I love the roadmap. There's still some games I would have liked to see at the showcase,
Yeah.
but I'm happy with what was shown. We still know those games are being worked on. They're around the corner. I'm happy with the production value in the games I saw. And they still got time to polish it even more and make it look good before they release. These games are still some of these games are still like a year out, like Fable and Hellblade, and they look good.
Yeah.
They look good. The StarField, the 30 FPS doesn't disappoint me. I kind of expected that when they revealed it. That's why I built a new PC. If you think about it, just think about everything that StarField is doing. It's not just graphics. When it comes to getting frame rate, it's not just graphics. You got to look at what the game is doing in its totality, all the logic, the physics, all of that stuff that's going on. This StarField is unprecedented. Like I didn't realize I was excited for StarField until this showcase. Like I knew I wanted to play the game because it gave me Mass Effect vibes, but now like I gotta play this game, bro. I gotta play StarField. Like if I had to choose between Spider-Man, Starfield all day. We played Spider-Man. We've never played Starfield. We've never played anything like it. Those are my thoughts, bro.
Okay. I will say this. For me, I give it a 10 out of 10. Right. And I base that 10 out of 10 on what they showed, the quality of what they showed, the diversity of what they showed, and then the roadmap they laid out from this year to 2024. And then we even got information on 2025, 2026, possibly even 2027. Right. And the reason why I say that is this. Microsoft for the longest, for over the last 4 or 5 years, they've been getting knocked for what other developers and other publishers don't get knocked for. And that is we know game development takes about 4 or 5 years, might be even longer now, right? In this new generation, might be even longer now, right? And they've been taking all that negative energy about where's the games. Y'all brought these developers this years ago, that years ago. Where's the games? Where's the game? Where's the games? And so when they showed up to this show, right, they kicked it open with Fable. Fable looks fucking incredible, and I gotta tip my head off to Forza, right? To the Forza team and to Playground, because that Forza tech engine don't get talked about enough, right? It really doesn't. I know people talk about Guerrilla Games and and their engine and how multiple PlayStation studios, that's good and dandy, that's cool. But that Forza tech engine has been displaying its diversity incredibly, right? You go to first you start off with Forza Motorsports, right? Looks incredible, right? Then you go to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and you find out that Forza Tech Engine built Microsoft Flight Simulator. And so you go from an engine that most people say, well, it's only built for racing games. You thought it was only built for racing games. So it went from racing games, Noah, to flying games, right? Then it comes back and use a Plague's Tale is built off that same Forza Tech engine, right? You get a Plague's Tale, right? Then you you got Forza Horizon. Then you go to Fable, right? This engine, right? And that's what I say. People have to stop kind of putting these studios in a box, right? Just because Forza Motorsport Studio focus on building one game that's a racing game, that doesn't mean the developers there only know how to build or make engines for one specific games. Those developers that work at Forza Motorsport has worked on multiple AAA games from different genres across the plane. So we got to stop putting these studios in. And they tried to do that with Playground Games, Noah. They tried to say Playground Games was going to struggle making Forza because all they know how to do is make racing games, right?
Can I say something on that too?
Go ahead.
Well, people got to realize when it comes to game development, it's just like any job. When you lacking in something, you go get it. You contract people that specialize and know how to do the things that you don't know how to do.
Exactly.
And that's anything. That's not just video game development. Like that's in any industry.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a master of all things.
Yeah. But see, that's what's good about the industry is that like you said, whatever area you lack in, you can go and get it. And then on top of that, you have people that work for you that didn't work for Sony, that didn't work for Take-Two, that didn't worked on GTA, that didn't worked on some of the biggest IPs in the industry. So we got to stop putting them. We got to stop putting them in a box like that. You know what I'm saying?
But like, it's like people don't realize it's a team, and it's not the same. I mean, this is just the brand. Playground Games is the brand, or development team or studio is the brand. But what makes that studio is dynamic. It's ever changing.
Yeah. But and one of the amazing things is that if you look, and we got Fable on the screen right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, looks good.
In game, right? They tell you this is in game, right?
Good.
And nobody believed it.
Oh my god!
This is the team from Forza Horizon.
They showing that CGI again.
So you feel me? This game looks freaking incredible, bro. And what really made it for me is because you hear all the news about Microsoft Studios being in shambles. Playground Games is in shambles. Fable restarted. They having trouble with this and this and that. And remember all the negative news came out about Playground having issues with Fable, Noah?
I remember.
Does this game all this is gameplay?
Bro, it was like every week some development team or studio was having trouble.
That's
normal, bro. That is normal.
And then now you got
every game studio struggles with a game at some point, but that's the reality of game development.
Man, if you don't struggle in life at some point, something wrong. I don't care how rich you are, you're gonna have ups and downs.
Spit facts.
It ain't about heaven. It's about how you recover. We fall down, but we get up. For a sake. I'm just saying, look. So the reason why I gave it a 10 out of 10, because look, you got Fable, right? They gave you a vow, right? I want to talk about a vow too. But before I get into a vow, compulsion game. I hope for the life of me that what we're seeing here is the art style for the game, right?
Oh, right here?
Yes. In compulsion games. I hope what we're seeing right here is this looks fucking incredible.
Looks like compulsion games. Like,
yes, this looks incredible. The art style is incredible. And like I said, when the South of Midnight, incredible name. And then I like the fact that, in the world where, and I'm gonna say this, where the gaming community for years, for generations, have been used to prominent roles, or the main role in the game being Caucasian, right? Mm-hmm. That developers are taking a chance on diversity, because for a while in gaming, it was the stigma that games won't sell if you have a black lead character.
Shit, not just gaming posts.
Movies, everything. You know what I'm saying? That
all forms of entertainment, but I know we talk about
strictly for gaming.
Yeah,
and they only not went with a black lead character. They went with a black female character. Well, y'all want to call that woke or whatever, I don't care. I'm just saying that they took a chance on this.
Call it what they want, bro. I'm an 80s baby. I grew up watching cartoons and movies, wondering why they didn't look like me. Like, you feel all the superheroes with capes. Why none of them black?
And I'm glad that they're taking a chance on this in terms of that diversity in their content and in their characters. And I salute that. And I think this is going to be a very interesting game. What I get from this is you got this young girl that's pretty much, it sounds like she a bounty hunter in terms of catching some weird creatures and demonic creatures or whatever in the southern Louisiana, and she has these magical abilities and things like that. I am really looking forward to seeing more on that. So you got compulsion games. Everybody was asking what they're doing. We haven't heard from them. Well, you heard from them. You heard from Fable, right? You heard from Avowed, even though you're trying to downplay Avowed. Avowed, when we first learned about Avowed, that was from a CGI trailer, if I'm not correct, right, Noah? It was the first trailer with CGI.
Yeah, it was CGI.
Right? So how did it get downgraded? And when you didn't know what the game looked like in the first place?
Bro, it was one. But the reason why I was arguing with Legendary, that it was one. But there was really no scenery being shown in that.
It was nothing. It was just an arrow. If the whole trailer was CGI.
Bro, come on, bro.
The whole trailer was CGI.
Same thing, Thriller.
You feel me? The whole trailer was CGI. Yeah, we can hear you.
What up, bro? What up?
Yeah, Thriller. So
I want to say something real quick on that on South of the Bayou.
South of Midnight.
Quick. I like saying South of the Bayou because I've been doing my little research on it. It's based on a book. The powers that she have is considered a weaver. Weavers are individuals that pretty much use voodoo.
But, do they weave light power? Like she got light power.
Yeah, she have like light powers, but it's like more like a knitting, like a dream catchers.
Okay.
But what they doing are they're taking the South like God of War did with the folklores and the old stories of the South, and they implementing into the game.
So what God of War did for what they did for like
not Egyptian, but Greek and
Norse mythology. Gods and Norse mythology.
Exactly.
They're doing that for the Southern folklore.
They
with this
bringing it into the Southern folklore.
They said I'm from the South and I don't know none of the folklore.
That game is gonna be a masterpiece, especially if from what the musicians, the guy that's playing the guitar, they took a lot of the BB King's, the older music, and you know how it plays with the the devil and
the crossroad, devil crossroad type shit.
Yeah,
there you go. That right,
came
And
down
that's
with
who I
that
thought. That's who I thought she was talking to. That's who I
bro.
thought who was playing the guitar when he first came on. I was assuming that was a figment of the devil.
Yeah, he is. He's like he's not the voodoo dude. He's not the dude that talked to the dead, but he's a spiritual guide. I just did like brief reading on it, but that's pretty much what I got from the gist of it. But long story, he's a guide and she's a weaver. They use dream catchers. Pretty much what you said. She's like a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
But all of the monsters that she's hunting are Southern folklore, like mythology type of stories that's into the game.
And guess what?
Man.
Man. Remember we had the conversation on here, Noah and Mello, about getting tired of being shown the same old thing.
Thank you. When you allow the developers to create, this is what you get.
This is something fresh and new. That's incredible. Now that you think about it. Yeah, top notch. That's fire. If you think about it, instead of going with the usual Greek mythology and all that stuff and the Norse mythology, well, let's go to the South
and educate your history.
You know how many?
Come on, man.
But people tell me Final Fantasy.
Bro, they gonna be touching with the ancestors, bro. They gonna be touching on things like inklings with the slavery.
I throw my shots though,
bro. It's finna be
people telling me this Final Fantasy 16 with not a pinch of black, without a pinch of any type of ethnicity, it's gonna be game of the year.
No, it's third person.
Yeah, it's third person. But like Brilla said, I'm banking on the art style gonna be exactly what we seen. It gave me that Nightmare Before Christmas style. Mm-hmm. So man, masterpiece.
Look what we getting over here, bro. We getting diversity. We getting different type of games. Like, bro, we don't. It's so exciting over here. I can't wait to see the gameplay. Like, it's so much to be excited for over here on Xbox.
And this is why I'm not only giving the show 10 out of 10, right? I'm giving the roadmap in the future Microsoft laid out to me 10 out of 10, right? Because they told us, okay, look, this year you're going to get StarField, which is going to be the game that's going to define this generation because there's nothing like there out there like it right now in terms of single player. You can go into Star Citizen in terms of multiplayer, but I'm talking about in terms of the scale, the scopes, the multiple systems that's working together in this game, StarField. It's fucking incredible. So they said, look, you're gonna get StarField.
Please, just I'm add to it just a little bit, just a little slash. Please stop comparing these games to No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky is not an RPG. I don't even know why you're comparing that anyway.
Ain't nowhere near close to goddamn No Man's Sky outside of minerals and resources.
Here's the thing with StarField.
Building.
StarField is a mashup of multiple genres of games, bro. Like it's like we've never seen. Like Starfield is a mashup of different genres of games, and it does all the genres well. Probably even better than the games that are most popular in those genres. Mm-hmm. So you see the gun combat with Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. You see the stealth gameplay. Okay. Any stealth game, but like the stealth gameplay look fire. Mm-hmm. You see the sim type with the ships. You can build the ship and customize it how you want it. You see the bits of No Man's Sky with the traveling from planet to planet. Yeah. So you can't. So I see what the comparisons of No Man's Sky, but that's just one small part of the game. This is
Fallout on fucking
everything
steroids.
You want to play, bro.
If you ever play Fallout, this is what Fallout is, but it's in space, but it's on steroids, and it's much cleaner. That's it. That's all.
It's Fallout. It's Call of Duty. It's No Man's Sky. It's everything that you want to play all in one. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, like I saw all of that when they.
That's
when they
literally what
game.
They're known for. If you ever played a Fallout game, this is literally that. Mm-hmm. Just taking it from a new planet to you traveling in the stars.
But I think in this game, a lot of what people wanted in a space game, they're getting in this. They're getting this game.
Oh yeah,
I seen a lot of people was like, okay, because in certain space game, when you destroy the ship, the motherfucker destroyed, or you able to plunge from the outside, grab what you want to grab, and be gone. But I see some people. I see people when dude boarded the ship. We could get the ship. And then when he boarded it, we could board the ship. And then he starts shooting.
And you could clap. The crew. What?
When he sat in that seat, and they said you can take the ship becomes yours, and you can break it down and do what you want. Man, I seen people on YouTube going crazy over there. As like finally, you know what I'm saying? Like that was a feature finally that they was looking for.
Yeah, because I've been talking to the PC guys, but it was more so because Star Citizen is Star Citizen, and unfortunately, the things that Star Citizen has promised, this game has brought to the forefront. 10 times fold, even from a lot of people. From what I've been hearing from them, I haven't played it, but a lot of people heavily speak on the bugs and the issues with Star Citizen, and then on top of that, they paid this money for the game to get early access,
and still
haven't got certain things that this game is even doing just off the back. So, and for it to be done on a console, it's even like 10 times worse, like a slap in the face. So,
I think StarField, in terms of the PC community, I think StarField finna go bananas.
Oh yeah.
The modding scene, and this is another game. I guarantee you, this is another 10 or 20-year game like Skyrim.
Oh yeah.
The mods and stuff that people are going to be creating when the mod community gets their hand on this game. And that's one thing I like about Bethesda. They build a cohesive game, right? And they give you as much features and freedom as you need. And then they allow the mod community to come in and say, run away with your imagination in terms of the things you can build and create. In itself, right, that allow the mod community, not only some of to make money off the mods and stuff, but in itself, it allowed the community to carry on the longevity of the game. That's the reason why Skyrim is still going. That's the reason why Fallout is still going, because there's still community of people out there that's creating mods and building stuff for these games. Been doing it for over the last 10 or 20 years. Go ahead, Noah.
Yeah.
No, just wanted to address Snooki, man. I don't mean that disrespectfully, but it does have some aspects of No Man's Sky, but it's only a small piece of the pie of what StarField is in its totality. So the people that draw a conclusion, they just take the fact that you can get in a spaceship and harvest minerals and stuff and compare it to No Man's Sky.
Well,
but this game is way bigger than that. That's what the haters do. Shout out to James Thomas with the $10. Off topic, but in regards to FPS, some of the most highly rated and most loved games are horribly optimized from soft games. Also, South of Midnight Voodoo action adventure, and I'm juiced for it. Yes, it's different. Shout out to Rob who randomly robs everybody. StarField got me building the PC right now. And on the aspect of, I'm just gonna bring this up right here from the developers. I felt like the South was underrepresented, and it deserves an honest love letter. It deserves its time in the spotlight. And this is an article. I'm gonna read this. This is on Xbox Wire, and then South of Midnight, the hidden details in that gorgeous reveal trailer, exclusive interview. All right, so we're gonna come back here. So I'm gonna hurry up and finish. Then we're gonna get Mellow perspective on what he thought, because last show he got real wild. Okay, so I give. So like I said, so let me break this down. You got Fable. Okay, this year we got StarField, a game that's gonna define this generation. Then you got Forza Motorsport, right? Then you go into 2024. They're telling you got Hellblade 2 in 2024. You got Avowed in 2024, and what else? So many other. 2024 is packed not only with first party from Microsoft, right? But you also have third party and second party games that's going to be dropping day and date, and
in 2024 into Game Pass along with first party, right? So we got a clear path from this year into 2024, and we know what games that we're going to expect from first party, right? And then also shout out to Bethesda because they're allowing, if you have Game Pass Ultimate, they're allowing you to get the upgrade of StarField for just $35.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing
so
it.
you can play it.
I'm ordering tomorrow. I'm getting
so you can play it 5 days earlier, right?
Hold on.
So
hold on. Say that again. I'm sorry.
They allow you to get the upgrade. If you have Game Pass Ultimate, you can get the upgrade.
It's a premium add-on.
To StarField.
It's $31.
For like $31, right? For
That's the standard edition or
no,
like
premium.
You already get the standard edition with Game Pass. They allow you to upgrade to the premium version,
so you can play it early.
So you can play 5 days early for $31. Yes. So So when y'all get a chance, y'all already got the standard version. Y'all already got the standard version.
DLC and stuff like that.
You get the extra DLC and all that stuff. So for $31 more, you get the premium version, and then you get the 5-day early access. This is Game Pass. This is Microsoft is changing the game here. Y'all gotta look at what they're doing, right? So they told you, look. We hope that Hellblade 2 was gonna make this year, but it's cool. Let them cook. They just finished up all they capture stuff. They finished up capturing, so now they finna take that data and apply it to the game and have that joint out the oven by 2024. We got Avowed in 2024, right? Then you got other first party games that I can't even name right now because I'm forgetting that's coming in 2024, right? Then you got Matt Booty who come out and say, look, in the next 18 months, right? He say we ain't finished announcing games, right? He say we still got Gamescom and we still got the Game Awards and possibly another event that's probably them where they're gonna show off some stuff. Then he tell you that Perfect Dark and State of Decay 3 is gonna be shown within the next 18 months, right? Watch how they cook. Right? We still ain't seen Indiana Jones, right? We still ain't seen Contraband, right? We ain't even seen the IO Interactive game that they're working on exclusively for Xbox that's supposed to be based around dragons. Let me finish. Look at all this IP. Just listen and look at all this IP, right? So Contraband, Indiana Jones, IO Interactive game that's supposed to be based around dragons. We still ain't seen that, right? I said Perfect Dark, right? State of Decay 3, we still ain't seen those, right? ID Software, don't know what they doing, right?
They just help. Oh yeah, sidebar. They help with StarField also.
They help with StarField, but they're also working on a new IP. Arcane Studios is working on a new IP, right? Then you got People Can Fly that came out today, announced that they're working on IP for Microsoft, right? Then you go into other machine games. Then you go into other aspects of Bethesda and ZeniMax Studios that we haven't seen anything from, and you gotta know what they cooking. Then you go back to Obsidian, right? Who giving you a Valve, but then got the Outer Worlds 2 that's coming too, and they also got another project in the making. Then you got Gears, the Coalition, who's working on Gears 6, but they also got another game that has nothing to do with Gears that they was working on as well. Then you got what Halo is. Man, look, bro, it is too many games to name. Then after StarField comes out, because we already know Elder Scrolls 6 has been in pre-production for the longest. So they go from StarField right into Elder Scrolls 6. Do y'all see? Do y'all see why y'all need to stop worrying about what these PlayStation niggas is talking about when it comes to your ecosystem, when it comes to your platform of choice? Do y'all see why I'm giving them a 10 out of 10? We damn near got a roadmap all the way into the next motherfucking generation. We got games that we can list from now all the way into 20 motherfucking 8. What the hell y'all world carry about what some PlayStation news are talking about on the internet? That's why I gave this show a 10 out of 10, right? That's why I gave it a 10 out of 10. Then you go into the interview that Phil and Matt Booty did on Shanelo, answer that. That's Fifi. Then you go into the interview that Matt Booty and Phil Spencer did on what's the name on Giant Bomb. Answer it. You got the what? Hold on, man. Go ahead, y'all. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, y'all. Look, I'm just saying. Look, man. Look, this is all I'm saying. Look, man. Xbox community, y'all should rejoice today, because that Xbox show went beyond just what you're getting this year. They told you what you're getting for the next 2 or 3 years. And if you've been following Xbox and you've been following the developers and the studios and the content, you know what's ahead for the next 3, 4, 5 years of content. Tell me you can't look. What other publishers out here giving you a roadmap that deep?
Nobody.
Look, and it's still games that we haven't seen yet. Then they come back in High on Life with an expansion, High on Knives. Then they come back with Hi-Fi Rush, DLC content to give you even more gameplay in that, right? Then they come back with the China studio, The Last Descendant, that shooting multiplayer game that looks incredible.
The first
Then
Descendant.
The first Descendant. Then they come back in the showcase extended and give you 2 scary games. I don't even know what the name of it because I don't like demonic games. And then they come back and give you what's that? Phosphobia? Well, 4-player co-op where you're pretty much
I know you're talking about.
the paranormal team where you're going into haunted houses and shit trying to find ghosts and shit. And look, hey, I don't fuck with this shit, but that look like it'll be fun as hell.
We running post. We running.
Yeah, nigga, post ain't running it.
Phasmophobia. Shout out Titus. Then they come back and give you that. And I know it might look like but games like that used to be fun. Just like the Jason game. That Jason game was kind of.
We got the Texas Chainsaw.
Texas Chainsaw. Yeah,
Texas Chainsaw coming to Game Pass. Payday 3 coming to Game Pass. Then you got the indies that they showed at the showcase. They showed some fire indies, man. Like, we are overwhelmed with content for the next 2 or 3 years. Exo Mecha. You got the stuff from Capcom. The two games coming from Capcom that's gonna be a game. Like, we are feasting right now. That's why I gave that show a 10 out of 10. Because it wasn't just about what they showed, it was about the pipeline that they gave us. It's about the pipeline that they gave us. Right? In order, you showed what? How many first-party games they had? 11? Somewhere up in there? 11 first-party games?
Somewhere in that range.
Somewhere in that range? You showed 11 first-party games, and it's still so much to be able to show that amount and still have the amount you have in a tuck that we know about is fucking incredible. Now, if this ABK deal go through, we're gonna talk about it, but let me stop. I didn't cook long enough.
ABK hit.
Hello? You done had a couple of days that we had to pray for you, brother.
I had to put the cam on. I had to put the cam on this time.
I'm glad you put the cam on because we need to see your face to see if you was telling lies. Now we had to pray for you, brother. How you was doing on the last show, brother. We had to pray for your soul. Now you had a couple of days to let this digest. Right. I had a couple days with the show and the extended show.
I done watched the show.
3 times.
3.
Now tell us how you feel, son.
Did some extra research on some other games. I even watched the Extendo joint. I watched that long ass interview that Phil Spencer had on that dirty couch.
That interview was fire though. We need to dissect that. It was an album, but we need to dissect that interview. But go ahead.
I would say I'm still sticking to what I said. 10 toes down, due to the fact it's still an 8.5. I say 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, we ain't mad at that. We ain't mad at that.
I still say in the sense of a presentation, I'm focusing dead straight on presentation only, because I can only go off of what you show me at your showcase. It ain't meant for me to predict the next 3 years for you. You supposed to show me what you got going on now and give me the satisfaction of what's coming down the pipeline. Did they fulfill that? Yes. I want my games. I don't give a fuck. I'm a brat. You can call me what you want. I want to see what's going on with State of Decay 3. Any chance Microsoft have. I don't care.
You still ducking the show because of State of Decay 3.
10 toes down. It's my game and I want it now.
0.5 off because they ain't show State of Decay.
It's my game and I want it now.
I will say this though.
I will say hold on. I'm gonna say this real quick though. I still say they should, and you know this is serious when it coming from me, because I was fighting with you cats. I still feel as if they shouldn't have showed Sea of Thieves on that showcase.
Well, you know
I'm
what?
Sorry, it's just me. It's just how I feel. It is. I can't take that away.
Well, you know what? I can agree with you. I think the reason why they showed that because of the partnership that Sea of Thieves has with Lucasfilm. And then Sea of Thieves is a big IP. No matter how much people try to downplay it,
it is.
Sea of Thieves got millions of people playing it right now.
Here go another one that shouldn't have been there. Fallout 76.
You know what?
In my opinion,
you know Fallout 6 is still making bread, but
heavy
I will say
game, bro. It makes money. Cult following 10 toes down. I'm telling you. I actually even played the game. I play Sea of Thieves. But at this current state, with the amount of ammo that y'all had, I feel as if
when last time you chased a chicken on Sea of Thieves?
I know, man, but they had
man, it's been a minute since I chased a chicken.
They had to make Bethesda
because they be cheating though. Hold on, let me tell you what they do on Sea of Thieves, because y'all niggas don't be around there. I get in there and I'm by myself. These motherfuckers will lock you up and be chasing you around the boat and shit and putting your ass in the cage and putting you in timeout. So I just continue like, you know what? Until I get a crew, I ain't playing this shit.
Hit me
That's
up.
where I'm at.
I will say this.
Since that.
I will say this. We could have swapped either Sea of Thieves or Fallout 76 for the Halo Season 4 trailer, which was one of the best Halo trailers I have seen to date. Have y'all seen it?
Yeah, I checked it. I seen it.
You ain't seen it, Noah?
I'm still waiting on Battle Royale. Like, bro, where are we?
I watch it on my own time. I want to watch it 720p.
I like what they showed, like that little you turn into infection. I like that
infection,
part.
The infection mode.
The map looked dope.
The new weapons, the customizations,
the customization,
the new items, the translocator, the motherfucking
what's that teleportation thing? Like
that was the translocator where he jumped off the thing and he started, he snapped them and then he whooped back and came back off. That's
gonna be a nice little change of pace with the game on that one. I ain't even gonna.
And there was some other new modifications that they had on there. I just can't think of the names, but that was one of the best Halo trailers that I've seen today, and I think low key, while the attention is off Halo, and people was like, well, what? When they showed the trailer, people kept asking people from Halo, well, why wasn't this in the showcase? I think Microsoft is doing their best to try to take as much attention off Halo Infinite as possible, and I think that's probably why it didn't show up in the showcase. And they just showed. Man,
it ain't like if I don't know if y'all play Halo Infinite. It's not in a bad state right now. So, like, why would you not want to put attention on that?
Man, don't look, man.
Halo is Halo. Don't get it twisted. That's just like saying I don't want to see gears.
Somebody time out. Nivik Tadadin. However you pronounce it.
Shout out to 10. Shout out to 108 Dragons TV with the $2. Ponies on suicide watch. Left out loud. ABK goes through. It's over. Talk that shit. 108
Them boys is hurt. They are in pain. I hope you checked on your strong fans, your strong friends over there at Sony, because they really hurt.
So we gotta protect the IP. Somebody time out Twitter. That Nivik dude at 1054.
Nivik, what's going on? We got our snipers in the chat.
I see what he's talking about. Yeah.
We got our snipers in the chat. Y'all mods.
I can't get on Twitter without them talking about StarField. Like, this is crazy.
Numbers our mods, man. Look, man, mods in the chat, man. Do y'all thing, man. If y'all feel the need to snipe, somebody snipe them, get them up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know how we roll.
See Halo on that Unreal Engine 5.
We don't discriminate on state games, man. We won't tolerate that.
So
crazy.
So Noah, you gave it an 8.
8.5 after they got extra credit because of the extended showcase.
Mello, you gave it an 8.5, but you docked it 0.5 because motherfucking State of Decay 3.
Hey man,
and then soon as you did that, they came out and said, "Well, you're gonna see State of Decay 3 and Perfect Dark in the next 18 months."
That's cool, but
that's what they said.
I'm basing it off of presentation.
Yeah, they said we're gonna get gameplay reveals from Perfect Dark and State of Decay 3 within the next 18 months.
Yeah,
next 18
months.
So
did they mention Indiana Jones?
Nah.
I don't know. They said they spoke of Indiana Jones, but they didn't really go into detail on Indiana Jones. Yeah. It was one of them like vague type of answers, like, you know, once they're ready, we'll present them as they come, but this is their window. And it was kind of vague, but
yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to the next one, and this one's gonna be a quick one. I just wanna get y'all thoughts on this information that dropped today. Let me bring this up right here. Let me bring this up right here. We're gonna talk about Forza Motorsport too, because
man, we gotta do a car club for Forza, man.
Okay, let me do this here.
I think that'll be dope.
Let me share this. Okay, so the developer People Can Fly came out today. Well, they didn't come out, but some information was posted about them entering an agreement with developing possibly a new game based on one of Microsoft IPs with a budget of 30 to 50 million.
God dang.
Yes, and that's pretty much anywhere up 30 to 50 million. You could pretty much call that AAA.
Yeah, you better be AAA at 30 million.
30 to 50 million. When you get into 50 million, then you go to 100 and stuff like that. So it's pretty much borderline on AAA. When you think of AA and stuff like that, you think of budgets at around 10 million, maybe 15, 20 million or down, if I'm not mistaken. So what a lot of people were saying, it might be the Gears collections that was rumored, but that doesn't make sense.
Nah,
because
I'm not paying 30, 50 million for that.
Exactly. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me because of this. First of all,
but hold on.
Did they make Gears Judgment? Didn't they make Gears Judgment?
Nah, they made that what's the game? The Outriders, and
they made Outriders and Judgment, I think.
It played heavily like
because they made Gears. They made Gears Judgment.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This the reason why I say I don't believe it.
Hold on, wait. They did Gears Judgment.
Yeah.
That ain't a good compliment. That ain't a good compliment.
This is why I don't believe it's the Gears collection, right? Because the Gears collection was rumored months ago, right? It's been rumored for a while now with no validity that it even exists, right? Then the fact that the Gears collection was rumored to show up at this showcase, or supposedly supposed to show up at this showcase. That didn't happen. Number 3, this agreement was entered in yesterday as of June 13th, right? So could it be something Gears related?
Possibly. Well, bro, you know what?
I don't think it's a collection, but if it is, Microsoft got so much IP. What it kind of be even hard to even assume what it is.
I don't know, because I'm trying to see what they was good at, in the sense of what they did good with Outriders. And when I played that game, the shooting was phenomenal. Like you felt the shots when you was hitting a target in that game. The abilities was dope as well. They had the blood and gore, so that's their strong suit. I don't think I really had any major serious issues on the online side of things, but Gears never had that problem really anyway. So
Question.
They might be trying to take Gears to a different way with the weapons.
The rumor is that happened with Gear 6. You give a motherfucker 30, 50 million to help with a game? Gear 6 already got his budget. You wouldn't give a studio a separate budget to work on a game that already has his budget.
But because look at what happens on the multiplayer side of Gears. Even though we love Gears of War 5, when it comes to the shooting, is pretty much the same. So maybe if they are implementing Outriders gunplay into Gear 6, just hypothetical. I'm just trying to think of something here.
I think it'll be like a offshoot of Gears, like Gears Judgment was on not necessarily a direct sequel, but like a side story. It could be something like that, along the lines of that.
But see, Trayvon Forza Ray say they already pretty much said they're doing Outriders too. Microsoft don't own Outriders too. Microsoft don't own that IP. And this says the production of the game will be carried out by the company in a work-for-hire model based on the publisher's intellectual property rights. So it's a Microsoft IP. So we'll have to see. Could they be doing something special with Gears? We don't know.
What about that game, Brute Force?
Oh, you going?
I forgot about Brute Force. Wait a minute.
Hey, yo. What about it, bro?
No, you always pulling some shit out your hat, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. You could have left Brute Force. Ain't nobody checking for no damn Brute Force, bro.
A reboot with Brute Force?
Have y'all played Brute Force?
I'm not a remaster. I'm talking about a reboot, bro.
No, did you play the
original? I played Brute Force.
Yeah, I had it. Yeah.
That shit wasn't what it was.
Huh?
Let me tell you something. Brute Force tricked me because the CGI trailer that they showed, Brute Force was fire, right? The girl going to cloth coming up behind Dupe. Then you got the beast doing all that. Then when the game came out, you just got you running around with these little motherfucking dots on the screen, shooting these little motherfuckers. Look, man, come on now. Look,
you going in your bag.
Hey, look, man,
that was 2001. Don't think about the game as what it was. Think about what it could be.
Right here.
Imagine what it could be, Post.
I'm with Lover God on that, because I remember Phil Spencer kept speaking on he wanted to bring back a Met game. Now I heard the rumors about Scalebound. That could be one too. Will be great.
Hey Titus, you hit door tweaking.
Titus, Phil Spencer was there when they brought Brute. Man, Phil Spencer been working for Microsoft for a long time, bro.
Brute Force was trash. The only thing I remember from Brute Force is the CGI was incredible for the trailer. And then when I got the game, I thought it was gonna look similar to this. And I was like,
no bueno. I didn't know y'all brought up Brute Force in the Discord. Titus, go to bed. Go to bed, Titus.
Titus know what's whacking.
All right.
He said he's bringing up topics from the game.
We talking about IPs Xbox on. I bring up Brute Force now.
I heard everybody kept saying Scalebound though, but I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, y'all think they spend?
I would like to see.
Y'all think they spending 30 to 50 million on Hexen? Oh, I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think about 30, 50 million just to assist on the game. Like, nah, y'all might got something in the tuck already. We like, we need that. I'd rather have that on our console.
Who made Hexen?
But yeah,
we'll see, man. We'll see. Whatever it is, it's going to be pretty interesting. A side note,
or strategic wise, we not gonna let our talent that worked on Gears work with the competitor no more either.
Side note, I do want to talk about this.
Wrap them up.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Let me bring something up here. Where is it? Da, 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 da.
It's gonna be brute force.
Man, y'all come get this man. Y'all come get this man. Let me see here.
Tell them the possibilities are endless.
Hey yo, if they say we got 12 teraflops of power while the game only 30 FPS and PS5 games run at 60, remind these ponies that those same games run on the PS4. Mic drop.
Okay, so recently, let me see here.
Wolfenstein.
Give me just a second.
He said plot to his blink. Man,
it could be a conquer. It could be a conquer.
Man, they'll never do that game again.
But
man.
It's brute force. It is brute force.
The day and times we live in now, they too sensitive for conquer, man.
What's more diverse than a dinosaur? Who is the characters in brute force?
Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. It might not be in the title, but this is something I definitely want to embrace. Emerging acquisition era is ending with layoffs and game cancellations. The big spending Swedish conglomerate, which owns franchises like Tomb Raider and Deus Ex, is now seeking to become a more focused, self-sufficient company. So layoffs about to occur, games are about to get canceled, and possibly studios are about to get divested. I want to know what y'all think about this.
Let me go.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go ahead cook this one. Go ahead cook, because I know you got your. Go ahead.
Go ahead and let Microsoft get idols about you and Crystal Dynamics.
Go ahead. I'm finna blow my nose. Let you cook. Go ahead.
Go ahead. My little Microsoft, go ahead and get that Crystal Dynamics and idols entertainment off you. We'll go and take Gearbox too, bro. We need a Legacy of Kain and a Soul Reaver remake. We need to holler at Amazon and get Tomb Raider back too. But yeah, I don't care about the other studios. We need idols and Crystal Dynamic. Your thoughts, Mello?
I'm gonna keep a buck with you. I don't know these niggas. So
you don't know Embrace It? Well, Embrace It, they're like
not like y'all do. Nah, not like that. But
they make up of they bought up a ton of studios. They got like THQ.
Oh, they did Deus Ex. Oh, okay. So, yeah, we need that.
Oh, to my idols and Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, bro.
Oh, well, I would say this much, man. Phil Spencer and them try to get y'all a forefront on this situation. When it comes to these games, a lot of these people about to get cannibalized. Like you're going to start seeing a lot of fallen soldiers. So I think they're going the right route with it. If they go ahead and just sell off certain catalogs of titles to people,
look, man, I'm back.
That'd be their best option at this point, in my opinion, because a lot of these games look kind of.
I think that's why Microsoft trying to washy. I think that's why they're trying to close the Activision deal so we can go ahead and buy these studios off Embrace.
Yeah, I think not only that though. It's a lot of talent over there that that can be brought into a lot of Microsoft studios that's hiring right now, right? But my thing is that you already got Crystal Dynamics, and Crystal Dynamics came out and said, "Look, we good over here. Our project with Microsoft, and then the next Tomb Raider game that they're working on. So they say they good. They in the clear, right?
Yeah.
I do think it's still a possibility.
They're gonna end up with Microsoft. Crystal Dynamics will become a Microsoft studio.
Go get Crystal Dynamics
and idols. Legacy of Kain.
Yeah.
Soul Reaver. Xbox exclusives.
Hey, and a shout out to Jeff Grubb, because they was hitting at that in that last interview about Soul Reavers and all that. And then this information come out, I feel.
But they got it. They can't go out there by
open that checkbook up. I know you're trying to get this ABK deal out the way, and that's cool because Crystal Dynamics, as long as they're working on with the initiative on Perfect Dark, right? Then they're in the clear, right? Hopefully they're in the clear where nobody can't swoop them up and just come take them off the project, right? Because contractual obligations. Feel. Hear me out, Phil, if you're listening right now.
Hold on, that game sound familiar.
You got an opportunity to get some twos and throughs from the Embracer Group because they hurting for cash right now. They didn't get that $2 billion investment that they was looking for. So now the portfolio and a lot of the things that they want to do has been put on hold. Man, ride through with the slide through. You know what I'm saying? Pull up and say, look, man, what you want for this? What you want for that? I got you.
What?
You know what I'm saying? I think Crystal Dynamics will be a great addition. To
Idols
to
Idols
and Idols, and I also think
Gearbox. Yeah, we'll take Gearbox too, but Crystal Dynamics Idols have priority. Like,
I also think IO Interactive too.
IO, they embrace on IO.
No, Embracer don't own IO, but I think I heard some things a while back about some conversations that was going on with IO Interactive and Microsoft. I don't know if those conversations were put on pause or anything like that. But
they did just drop that. Oh, okay.
IO, I can wait though. IO Interactive.
They also got Gearbox too, don't they? Yeah, but then the Gearbox, the head of Gearbox has some words for Phil.
Yeah, we good. I mean, we get them. We'll take them. We'll take them. But no, Idols, Crystal Dynamics, we need that.
Who is that playing the game right now?
I was just looking at something because you seen the Long in the Dark, and I was like, that game seemed familiar. So I just
pressing all them buttons. I bet you that's more clicking and pressing.
That was me. That was me. I was checking Along in the Dark, and I was like, hold on, I just sworn they just dropped something, but never.
Oh, you talking about Alone in the Dark? Oh, y'all played the demo. They got a free trial on the store.
Alone in the Dark?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played it. Okay, before we go into the next, it's so much to talk about, and as we continue this conversation, please, if you in the chat, man, y'all can drop whatever game y'all think people can fly is going to be working on, and then later I will probably tab it up, write them down, and then when we find out what they're working on, we'll see who got it correct and see what we can do. Lies of Peace. Have any of you all played the demo of Lies of Peace?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Let Mello. Hey, I'll be back. I'm finna grab some water.
Mello, what you think about Lies of Peace?
All right. So as an individual that has not played Bloodborne, because a lot of people keep running around saying they comparing it to it, Bloodborne, whatever. This game is fucking fire. I was already sold. I was already there for it. I definitely pre-ordered off the rip after playing it. If you want to make the game hard, take the HUD off, and bro, it's up there. It's right next to. I got to get a little bit more detail on it, but it's right up there next to Elden Ring for me.
Now, from what I heard is that you had a staff that can fit different type of weapons that you can build into hundreds of different type of weapons to fight the enemies.
The handles change, different fighting styles. You got the heavy sword, the middle, the light swords.
Yeah, and the guy said hundreds. You can create hundreds of different weapons, which surprised me. And then also the arm modification, where you could change it up from electricity to flame throwing. And
my dumb self keep. I like to run my head against the wall until it feel good or I get numb, because I took the HUD off, so I didn't know how to equip your health, and then you can actually charge up your blade towards certain robot. I mean, not certain robots, but certain enemies. So I'm playing the boss and I'm dying multiple times, and then I find out that I can use this. I don't know what it is, like a potion, and put electrocution on my on the blade. Oh, nigga, work like a charm. So I like the style right now. I like the direction it's going. Like I said, it gives me that Elden Ring vibe, but way much cleaner. Way cleaner.
Yeah, I got fucked up by that.
Okay, here we go.
That Pinocchio build or something, bro.
That one enemy that I don't know what he be doing. You know what I'm talking about? When you go down the stairs and he's there, I died
with the nutcracker dude. That's yeah, with the heavy sword.
Pause. Yeah, I was done.
Yeah,
Bro.
Paul.
After I got both nuts cracked, I uninstalled the game, bro.
What?
Oh
check this
no,
out.
it get worse. Trust and believe it get
Let me
worse.
check this out. I'm gonna play this. Y'all just listen.
This the extension joint, right? Oh yeah.
Lies of P is a thrilling Souls-like that takes the story of Pinocchio, turns it on its head, and sets it against the darkly elegant backdrop of the Belle Epoque era.
Finally, we meet.
This game was fucking good too.
You are a puppet created by Geppetto, who's caught in a web of lies with unimaginable monsters and untrustworthy figures standing between you and the events that have befallen the world of Lies of P.
Yeah, that heavy sword is the truth.
You are awakened by a mysterious voice
Can you hear me?
that guides you to the plagued city of Krat, a once lively place that has been poisoned by madness and bloodlust. In our Souls-like, you must adapt yourself and your weapons to face untold horrors, untangle the unfathomable secrets of the city's elites, and choose whether to confront predicaments with the truth or weave lies to overcome them on the journey to find yourself. Lies of P was inspired by the 19th century Belle Epoque era. Explore this city that may seem breathtakingly beautiful, but in reality harbors a terrifying horror within. You will encounter various individuals throughout your journey in Lies of P. Sophia, the guide who leads P to save Krat. Eugenie, the technician who enhances P's weaponry. Animi, Krat's unparalleled genius inventor. Unravel their story to take a closer step towards Krat's secrets. Did you know that there are dozens of weapons in Lies of P? Weapons can be disassembled into blades and handles, and they each hold their own exclusive motions and attributes. You are able to create your own weapon through the combination of these blades and handles. Of the hundreds of possible combinations with different respective appearances, performances, attack motions, and patterns, I wonder which one will come to fit your combat style the best. Some special weapons, however, are unable to be separated combined with their blade or handle. Sometimes, beauty lies in its simplicity. Once you've found the perfect weapon for you, visit Eugenie at the Krat Hotel. Upgraded weapons will be more reliable when you stand against your foes.
That's fire.
In Lies of P, you must be aware of your weapon's durability.
Yeah, that right there.
Weapon durability decreases every time you cast an attack or block an enemy's attack. Be mindful to repair your weapon from time to time so that the durability won't hold you back later on. Oh, but don't fret. You can use the grinder whenever you please to mend your weapon. Each and every blade and handle has its distinctive Fable Arts. Fable Arts is a special combat skill that can be casted by consuming Fable slots. Fable slots can be charged again through combat. Select your own special skills to vanquish your enemies. Groggy is a system that allows you to inaugurate stiffness on enemies. You'll notice that the enemy's HP bar occasionally shines bright upon attacking. This means the enemy has become groggy available. If you strike a groggy available enemy, it will fall into groggy status. Once an enemy enters groggy mode, you can commence a fatal attack and inflict immense damage. If you bump into a groggy monster, make sure to show them who's boss. If you can't escape it, face it. Utilize your guard abilities. Guarding enemy attacks will use up your stamina, but it also reduces some of the damage. The damage taken will be transferred to Guard Regain, which restores your health. Take a second blow before it's too late. Guarding might not be as easy against agitated monsters.
It's just incredible,
fury attacks.
Bro, that
if you are confident with your
they
reflexes,
go OD,
I suggest you try the Perfect Guard. A successful Perfect Guard will save you from receiving any damage, even from a fury attack. You can break enemies' weapons or cause groggy status on enemies through Perfect Guards. The Legion arm is a prosthetic on P's left arm. The Legion arm can exhibit special abilities by consuming the Legion gauge,
The depth in the
providing you an
comeback is
eclectic
incredible.
combat experience.
Yeah.
The Legion arm can also acquire new skills and abilities through modification. All monsters in Lies of P have their own respective, distinctive characteristics. Uncover their combat attributes and use them strategically to your advantage. So, puppets are all there are? I highly doubt that.
Yeah, no.
You'll have to face all sorts of monsters, puppets only being one of them. You're not quite done yet. Bone-chilling bosses await you.
Look at this.
You gonna complete this game, Mello?
If a boss seems too intimidating, you might want to get help from a specter. In boss matches, you can summon a specter that will assist you in battle.
It's just like Elden Ring.
Yeah, I'm gonna just stop it right there. It's so much. When y'all get a chance, go watch this trailer. It was an overview trailer from the Showcase Extended. Man, this game is incredible, man. The different fighting styles you have based on the weapons, the different animation you use and have based on whatever weapon you have. The animation of how you use that weapons changes, and then also in the story. You get to these points where you have to either tell the truth or you have to tell a lie.
Yeah,
and I thought that was I thought that was incredible too. So man, yo, it looks fire, and it looks like it's gonna be one of them tough roguelike, them tough games, man. Them Souls like games.
You gotta literally study your goddamn enemy. If you don't study their movement. Yeah, it's a wrap on you, brother. And yeah, you definitely got to charge that blade up. But I'm there day zero on Game Pass, and that's what's going to kill a lot of this narrative. And like I said before, the great migration of gaming is happening again, because when you get stuff like this, and then you see the amount of games we about to get. Come on, man. People gonna save money. I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care. The price of food went up.
Man, price of everything went up.
People broke.
This all I'm saying.
Broke. Look, and you can't tell me that if I can sit here and I have options, I can pay out for the year, I can do a month to month, I can do a 3-month, or I can actually play the games and get rewards and pay for Game Pass and have access to all this. It's too many W's there.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. And I think with all this, you got the personas and the Capcom joints, and the first party stuff, and this and all the other stuff that's gonna be day and date in Game Pass. I can't see nobody not having. You got to have an Xbox this generation. Man. Microsoft has now proven that I don't care what system you got. You're either going to need an Xbox or a PC this generation. But since the chat is bringing up Final Fantasy 16, I do want to let y'all know I did start the demo. I did play a bit of the demo just to see how it was. And I spent the first 20 minutes of the game just holding the controller in my hand and running around. It was pretty much the first 20, 25 minutes of that demo, if I'm not mistaken. At least between 15 to 25 minutes of the first of that demo is a cinematic movie. You're not really
get your popcorn.
You're starting off with cinematics, and it's just cinematics. You run around out all this destruction, then it goes back into cinematics. Then you flash back to a young boy where you learn how to do the fighting and stuff like that. But after you learn how to fight and the buttons and stuff like that, it goes back into a cinematic. And
I saw somebody playing the game with his tongue. After I saw that, I was cool, bro.
And the reason is because in the game you have this ring. You have this ring. I forgot what the name of the ring is, but you get the equip. I think like 3 or 4 rings, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's 3 though. You're able to equip 3 different rings, and it's a ring in a game that allow you to only use the square button to pull off multiple moves. So it's like when you have that ring on, it's like on Hi-Fi Rush in the accessibility options, where it allows you to use one button and the computer pretty much perform the different type of combos and stuff for you.
That ain't gaming.
That's what this ring does in Final Fantasy. When you equip it, you can that's what this ring does in the Final Fantasy 16. When you equip it, you could just go crazy with Square, and it'll do all the combos and all the stuff for you. It'll even dodge and do all that stuff for you just off pressing the one button.
Can I tell you about my experience in Final Fantasy?
It was a fucking movie, man. The first 20. Am I lying?
Yeah,
the first 20,
bro. I played for an hour. I had the controller in my hand 5 minutes out of that whole 60 minutes. I streamed, bro. Dog, like I was in my phone, bro. Like I was in my phone the whole time, bro. Like, I just couldn't tolerate it.
Bro, when you can sit when I'm playing, when you can sit the controller down and be doing stuff on the computer because you're trying to wait for the cutscene or whatever story thing.
Bro.
And I put it on action mode. You get two. You got a focus mode and you got a action mode. Focus mode is more story oriented, and it's for people that's not comfortable with playing action games or not don't have that are not confident in themselves in terms of action games. I put it on action mode because you play the Devil May Cry and stuff like that, so you're accustomed to action games. So when I did that, I thought I was going to jump right in and get straight to the action, but it's like 20 to 25 minutes of
this movie out.
25. Nah, Post, don't lie.
I'm talking about the point I got to.
No.
It was mostly cinematics.
I streamed for a whole hour, bro. I literally like out of that whole hour, I probably controlled my character for like 5 minutes out of that whole hour. I kid you not, bro.
Bad, bro.
Well,
and then once you pay $70 with $60 for this game, like, come on, bro.
Well, I thought.
Let's be real right now. Let's be honest. Like, I get it. Everyone loves Final Fantasy. They've been around since the 50s. Bro, who really finna be paying $70 for a movie?
Yeah, but that was my perspective on it when I
like Dr. Martin.
That was my perspective on it when I played it. And I stopped there, but that's what I got from it, the fact that it was like
a heavy cinematic movie.
It was just cinematics. You really didn't do too much. You know what I'm saying? And then when you did fall, that first big boss battle, that thing that come from the water, it wasn't really challenging. It wasn't really
exactly
challenging. You I don't know.
You fought the thing that you had to play longer than me. Did you skip some of the cutscenes?
No, I didn't even know you can skip the cutscenes.
Let me ask you this.
I got to the part when you were a boy and you go to the and the king of the what's the name send you off to clear up the little forest or village and stuff like the forest, and you go in the forest with the other two guys and you start fighting these.
That's why I made it too. But
I made it to that. And
it took me an hour. It took me an hour to get there though.
Damn! And then after that,
you said it took me an hour.
Well, maybe I was playing longer than I thought I was playing because all the way up until that point, it was pretty much cinematics.
He said he saw cut screen that didn't see cut screen. So let me ask you this: when you're doing the fighting, is it like you get to when you get to the boss, it's like doom doom doom. You see the boss and y'all go through y'all little sword, and then when you start fighting, bing bing bing. It's like, do you get to like a certain part of the health and then it cuts into a cut screen, a cut scene, and then you doing all of the.
I ain't get that far, bro. I played an hour.
No, I ain't. No. So, when you're learning how to fight, it goes like I won't say big cut scenes like that, but fighting a boss, nah. I mean, it's some quick time events in there. But it was that first boss was just too easy. I don't know if it gets difficult beyond that point. I didn't finish the demo yet. I'm gonna try to finish it. And
did you beat the first boss? You said you beat him because you said it was too easy. Yeah,
it was too
easy. Okay, so when you was fighting, I'm like,
the reason why I know the ring does that is because the reason why I know the ring does that because I equipped the ring and I just was up there.
You just hitting the button.
And when you in the square button is not just for offense. it'll dodge for you, it'll slide, it'll do all
Oh
that for you
hell no!
in the combo
Yeah,
for you. So
I
like
would never
it's
disrespect my fingers like
it's
that.
this whole take on what they call them modern controls. It's no different than Street Fighter 6 with the one button special moves with their whole modern control thing.
I play classic. You get more control.
That is just terrible.
It was just
that sounds like a terrible experience.
I'm not a Final Fantasy enthusiast. I'm not even
I try to be.
Final Fantasy.
I try to give them niggas the benefit of the doubt. I really do. But it's hard. I mean, it's really hard, bro.
I understand you're telling a story, but
but goddamn. Like it sounds like you could have literally just took out the combat part, made a Netflix movie with those graphics and visuals, and sold it to people, and they would have been cool with that.
Pretty much.
From what I'm hearing, because if you're telling me I can map out the whole entire combat with one button, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, is that accessibility feature?
That has nothing to do with accessibility. That's just a feature.
Sound like handicap 101.
It could be accessibility. I don't know. Maybe it's a low-key accessibility that they built into the feature. But this specific ring, when you equip it, it does that. You don't have to go into any options or anything like that and turn on any accessibilities to implement the terms of that fighting style. All you have to do is equip that ring, and once you press square, it'll pretty much do everything for you.
Yeah.
But the only thing that threw me off is that when I started it, I didn't know it was going to take that long to get to the fighting. Like, I understand you're telling the story and stuff like that, but
damn. What's that Final Fantasy that they had? That was a dope movie. It was Children something or Child or something.
Avid Children.
Yeah, that one. Just give me that. That's all y'all gotta do. If y'all really want to, y'all press for cash and y'all hurting for money, just make it into the movie, put it in the movie theaters. Boom. There you go. Y'all ain't even gotta make a video game out of that, because if you telling me, I'm literally saw a dude with the controller in his hand. He was like, It was some COVID nasty stuff going on to his controller, but he was putting his tongue on the button and was fighting the player, bro.
That's because he had that ring on. I'm telling you,
nasty work, bro. That is some nasty work. I'm sorry.
Had that ring on there.
Do you play that first Descendant?
I haven't played. I didn't even know about that game. Did you? That shit look fire.
I'm saying, can you play it on stream?
What?
The first Descendant.
I don't know.
Not talking about like the video. They play the video, like the YouTube video.
Let me give me just a second. Let me do that. I did sign up for
black people.
I did sign up for Towerborn.
They don't like black people.
I did sign up for
Towerborn. I ain't signing for that one.
Oh yeah, I gotta sign up for
Mortal
Kombat.
Did Mortal Kombat and was it something else?
Towerborn, you under NDA, so you can't talk about the game. You played none of that.
Games ain't nothing.
Let me see, when is this here? Okay, let me do this here.
And y'all worried about some damn 30 frames per second on StarField. Y'all got a whole cinematic movie over there. Paying $70 for a movie. Niggas nasty. What is it called again?
Okay, Tower what? First Descendant.
XOS, 엑스박스 1을 포함해 콘솔과
This remind me of what Anthem should have been.
프리트 플레이로 즐기실 수 있도록 개발 중입니다. 퍼스트 디센던트에서 플레이어는 계승자가 되어 1, 2회 생존을 위해 침략자들에 맞서 싸우게 됩니다. 계승자는 플레이어의 캐릭터로서 다양하고 개성적인 컨셉과 전투 스타일을 가지고 있습니다. 플레이어는 계승자를 통해 잉그리스 대륙을 탐험하며 스토리를 체험하고 다양한 임무를 혼자서 혹은 협동 플레이로 수행하게 됩니다. 또한 최대 4인 협동 플레이로 거대 보스와의 레이드를 경험할 수 있습니다.
With that fight scene, they was jumping the hell out of one of these dudes. Punching them all in this shit.
현재 개발팀은 작년 베타 테스트에서 플레이 피드백에 받은 피드백을
So how long this game has been out?
컨텐츠의
Is it on-
개발을 병행하고
It's probably on
Oh,
PC
no.
already, right?
지금 보시는 화면은
No, it ain't out yet. The beta come out in August.
This Xbox Series X gameplay.
Yeah, you get on Xbox. It come out on August.
So
on
this is
Xbox.
Xbox Series X gameplay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
on
no,
Xbox
it's a
and PC.
multiplayer. It's free to play. It's a multiplayer and it's crossplay.
이
I know,
계승자는
but the gameplay they were showing at this is the first time it's been shown on Series X.
또한
Yeah.
I thought this
Yeah.
was PC.
방어 능력과
Oh, nah.
지닌 새로운 캐릭터도 개발하고 있습니다. 플레이어분들이
yeah.
더
Oh,
많은
man.
탐험을 하고 몰입감
on
넘치는
PS5
스토리를
too.
경험할 수 있도록
Captured on
다양한
Series X.
환경의
I didn't know that. I didn't even pay
있으며
attention to
새로운
that.
타입의 보스 레이드 역시 지속적으로
Oh, it's a
개발하고 있습니다.
current gen game
Yo,
too.
this look
그리고
incredible.
많은 분들이 요청하셨던 코스메틱 시스템도 도입 중에 있는데요.
Oh, it's a
캐릭터들마다
current gen
다양한
game
컨셉의
too, so
스킨을
I don't
제공할
know.
예정이며 꾸미기 아이템을 통해
You
개성을
can play on the
마음껏
Xbox
뽐낼 수
One and the
있도록 지원할 예정입니다.
PS4.
Devontae, it definitely
가장
look
많은
like.
피드백을 받았던 그래플링 훅은 시스템을
I definitely
like-
think it's out on PC already because he was talking about listening to feedback
Oh, this is
from
what
games
feels on
gamers
television.
already. Look how you able to move.
이
Oh,
밖에도 피드백을 반영하여
It is, you know,
점프 모션, 총기 사운드,
Yeah, it remind me of what Anthem was supposed to be.
계승자 스킬을 개발할 수 있는
what?
시스템도 개발 중에 있습니다. 게임
Yeah.
사운드 또한 글로벌 유명 게임 작곡가인 스티븐 바튼과 협업하여 보다
You know, they put
풍성한
some big
청각적
money
경험을
behind it
찾기
when
위해
they
준비
bring
중에
out live music, boy.
It's a free game.
마지막으로
What's so serious?
여러분께서 가장 기다리실 소식을 전해드리겠습니다.
Isn't it already out though?
현재 저희는 연내 출시를 목표로 하고 있으며 그에 앞서
Oh, they currently
8월
launching this
엑스박스
year.
시리즈
Before then,
X와
we plan
S를
on holding
포함한
cross-play
콘솔과
beta tests
PC에서
in August.
크로스플레이 베타
It'll
테스트를
be available
진행할
on
예정입니다.
consoles in
베타
okay.
테스트는 8월 22일부터 8월
Okay, so they plan to launch
28일까지
this year.
일주일간 진행되며 오늘부터 공식 홈페이지를 통해 신청하실 수 있으니 플레이어분들의 많은 참여를
I gotta go
부탁드리겠습니다.
sign up for the first descendant.
Be the first descendant.
Remind me to do it.
Yeah. Yo, this was a
Let them go
if they could nail what we just saw in the gameplay that they showed, if they can actually nail that, because I mean a lot of times we see these games like that, they look incredible, and then when you get them, it's not what you think it is.
Mhm.
If they can nail that'd be incredible. The only thing I will wonder is if they can get on PC, it could deliver in terms of getting enough of an install base, but I wonder what type of install base it will have on Xbox Series X with all the other competitive shooters out there like Call of Duty, Destiny, and things like that, Halo and all that. But that looks incredible and it looks different, and it's not just shooting. You got knife play, you got all types of shit that's going on in there. You know, I think it's PvPVE, right? Because I see them going against other players, and I also seen them attacking big ass enemies and shit like that. Well, whatever it is, man, it looks very interesting. And when I was watching the extended yesterday, it really I was really intrigued by that. So all right, let's move along. So what I want to get to next is the big fish in the room, and that's StarField. In this frame rate shit that's going on with StarField. I look at it like this, man. Look, man.
I'm getting tired of you niggas.
I told y'all when it comes to developing a game, and the developers tell you, if a game is 30 frames per second, Todd Howard came out and said this is by choice. The 30 frames per second is by choice, meaning he don't want to have to sacrifice the look in other parts of the game for frame rate, right? And he said if he could lock it at 30 frames on PC, he would. You know, I have no problem with it. You got StarField as big and as many systems as it has. It has real-time global illumination, and it's tracking every fucking item in the game. Everything in the game is being tracked. technically that game is doing what no other games are doing right now. I have no problem with it being 30 frames per second. It's a single player game.
Can I say this?
I'm not. It ain't a multiplayer game where you finna go player versus player. It's a single player game.
Let me know when you're done, post.
Go ahead, cook. No? What
Oh.
y'all think about this 30 frame, 60 frame shit that
We
people
can't have our cake and eat it too. People say they wanna push the consoles till its limits, and sometimes that means 30 frames per second. I mean, that's just not the reality behind it, right? Everything this game is doing, where it's pushing the hardware to its limit. Maybe not from a aesthetic standpoint, but from just what this game, what you're able to do in this game. You know, that 12 teraflops, that CPU is getting pushed beyond its limits with this game, because we've never seen anything like it. When the Xbox Series X first launched, remember it was like, I think equivalent to like 2080, 2070, but that was back in 2020. It's 2023 now. The big dog on the block is the 4090, and that's like I don't know how many teraflops that shit is, bro. Like I think the 3090 was like a 30 or 40 teraflop machine. The 4090 is even more powerful. So
yeah,
I mean, you gotta look at the market in its totality, bro. Like we're on consoles. These games are getting designed for multiple platforms, and the Series X, as powerful as it is not the most powerful thing on the block when you compare it to like PC hardware. But for it to be able to run this game, hopefully at a solid 30, with all you can do, I don't think we can rightfully complain, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna say it like this: y'all niggas need to stop acting like bitches.
Oh shit!
Straight to the point.
Okay.
Y'all act as if y'all have not played 30 frames per second games. Some of y'all greatest favorite games are 30 frames per second, or either unlocked or locked, and y'all continue to play it with a grin on your face. That system, Xbox Series X, is able to do 60 frames per second. We've seen it happen. You've seen it with Halo. You've seen it with Forza, Gears, and the list goes on. Deathloop, everyone has done 60, so it's not the console. When it comes to what's this company name? The people that made Fallout,
Bethesda.
Bethesda. I'm sorry. When they give y'all this amount of content in the game with this amount of NPC dialogue and shootouts and crafting and mining, and they putting this on a console, you should be grateful. I understand fanboys gonna be fanboys, but some of the fanboys y'all look up to is buying this game. Don't get it twisted.
You know what's funny though, Mello?
Oh, what's up?
Final Fantasy 16 don't even run at 60.
Hey, again, some of y'all favorite games don't even run at 60.
It don't even run at 60. And then you know what's funny outside of that? Is that they talked all that shit, right, Mello and Noah, about Sony first party games. But one majority of them running them games at 40 frames with VRR. What are we doing here?
Hey, man. Hey,
what are we doing here?
I guess it's biased politics. Like always, it's biased politics. But again, I was around for Fallout New Vegas. I love what this company does. I'm 100% more confident now of what I've seen, and for them to have even more time to polish it and have somebody come in and help them also. This game right here is game of the year. It's goated. It's solidified, in my opinion, and nothing's topping it. Like I said, a lot of y'all fanboys that like to hate on this game, they're gonna be playing this game day zero.
Facts.
Point blank and period. So,
and on top of that,
go ahead.
No, I didn't want to interrupt you.
So yeah, look, even one Zelda, 20-some frames. Hey, the list goes on games that's below 30. And people played the game, had fun, and cracked their jokes. Stop hating on the game, bro. If you're a gamer, you're gonna love what you're gonna be experiencing, and you're gonna appreciate it because if you look at the landscape at again, how much they put into this game, it's phenomenal. The talent is there. The talent is there.
You see how Fallout 76 was fucked up when it came out?
Yeah, it's
and they still still played it.
Still played it,
bro. Still played it.
Still played it.
But when it comes to this 30 argument, right? There's a difference between being upset a game is running at 30 frames because it was poorly optimized versus a game that's pushing the hardware, the limits of your hardware, and all you can get is 30 out of it.
Yeah. And see, and that's what Phil said. Phil said it's not that the Series X can't do it. It ain't a platform issue. They're telling you, Phil telling you that the Series X is capable of running StarField at 60 frames per second. Phil said it is a developer's choice. Todd Howard made the choice to run it at 30 frames per second on console because there's certain things in the game that he don't want to sacrifice.
Yeah.
You're saying the wrong post console.
Like from how he's talking, he's like this was his foresight for where he wanted Fallout to be. Like this is the progression of his foresight of where that game should be, and I think we're gonna see multiplayer down the pipeline.
No, don't get me wrong. People saying it doesn't have a performance mode. That doesn't mean that at some point we don't get a performance mode in StarField. We're not ruling that out. We can't rule that out. It is possible. But what I think is more important than worrying about a performance mode right now, because you have to think, we just learned that Todd Howard was going to release this game way before Microsoft bought Bethesda. Let me tell you something now. If Microsoft don't buy Bethesda, StarField get released in the most fucked up state ever. Like all Bethesda game. On PS5, on PC, and on Xbox. It's probably exclusive or time exclusive.
Yeah, on PS5.
To PS5 at the time. If Microsoft don't buy them, Sony get their way with the exclusivity agreement, then it's coming out in the most buggiest state on the PS5. Microsoft came in and said, look, take your time to do that shit right.
So I said to carry the move, don't he?
And they took that time. And you go back and look at when StarField was first shown versus when they recently showed it here, as you said, 90-day difference. You can tell the extra time that they put in to get the game because it looks way better than what it did. You feel me? In real-time global illumination is a form of ray tracing, which you don't see it that much in games because it's very taxing. It's very taxing. So the fact that that's in there, the way they got the systems and all the objects and every object in the game being tracked and all, it's crazy, man. Shout out to Max City Entertainment with the $5. StarField looks amazing. After watching the StarField Direct multiple times, this is a day one play. I'll take my no 6 or no play. What? I'm playing this day one. Oh, he said, I'll take my no 60, no play L. Yeah, Max City did come out and say if it's not 60, he not playing it. But he going to take the L on this and play it day one after watching the Direct. And you know what? What's incredible is that even after that Direct, even after it came out that it's going to be 30 frames per second, the number that is doing incredible numbers on Steam right now. People still gonna play this shit. You know why? Because on PC, they're gonna be able to run it at whatever frame rate they want to run it at. And people,
thank God for Xbox Play Anywhere. I can
facts.
Xbox, PC, the next Series X2, but it don't matter.
What you say?
Xbox Play Anywhere.
So you can start it on PC, finish it, and then continue over in the cloud, and then pick it back up on your Xbox. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh man. So yeah, man. We look, man, and we ain't gonna sit on this that long because it is what it is. It was a creative choice. They chose to go 30 frames per second, polish the game. get the game out with less bugs as possible. We know it's going to come out with some bugs, but make sure it comes out with less bugs as possible and not any game-breaking bugs. Come out in a state where it's stable, but it might still need some little patches here and there based on what people find, because as it come out, you have a larger pool of players that can find stuff and help you find bugs that your Q&A team didn't find. Even though Matt Booty came out and said that they have every QA tester at Microsoft playing this game, the whole Q&A team, every Q&A tester at Microsoft is testing this game right now. So they
they got like the hardware team helping them too, making sure
they
they
got the ATG team, the advanced technical group team helping them with this as well. So Microsoft is really putting a lot of resources in it. And then Matt Booty also said that this will, if our Starfield was to release today or yesterday or a couple of days ago, that it will be the fewest games with bugs that ever released in Bethesda history. So that bodes well. That means that they're putting a lot of work into this game. You get majority of the bugs out. You release a good, stable game with a great foundation. Whatever else get found, you patch. And then you worry about a performance mode a couple of months down the line or anything like that. Then allow that come. But first, get the fucking game out the door. You feel me? Get the game out the door. That's what I say. Get the game out the door. So it don't matter what Artist Hines said. What happened to options? Look, we're not. Did you hear what we just said, Artist? We're not saying that no option should be there. We're saying that prior to Microsoft banning Bethesda, this game was going to release probably in a worse condition, that probably worse than Fallout 76. You feel me? They had a very early release date until Microsoft came in there and told them, look, you got time. So what they do, they're working on fixing the bugs and polishing the game. It's going to be at 30 frames per second. Yes. After you get out the door, hopefully down the line, we get options. Through updates, we get options to different type of performance modes. You know what I'm saying? Later down the line, the options are still there. We just probably don't get them towards release, and that's cool. We've got that with games before, we have games released without performance modes, and then performance mode came through an update. You know what I'm saying? So don't act like y'all ain't never had a game that released with no performance mode, and then months down the line, an update came out which gave it a performance mode. So it is what it is. James Thomas, $2. Hell, we was getting 120 frames per second on Halo and the like. Yeah, but those are Halo and Starfield is two different games. I don't think y'all understand the technicality of this game and what it's doing, and the reason why Todd is going for 30 frames per second. He doesn't want to. It's so many things he don't want to sacrifice. He don't want to sacrifice the graphical fidelity because he wants that cinematic experience. He don't want to sacrifice other systems and things in the game. You know what I'm saying? If you do 60, you might have to tone back, at least on the Series X. You might have to do away with that real-time global illumination. Possibly. So we don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, to each his own, man. I don't knock y'all opinion. For those that want 60, I'm not mad that y'all y'all want it, and I'm not mad that y'all. I'm not mad that y'all might be unhappy. That's cool. That's y'all opinion. I can't take that from y'all. All I'm saying is that either way it goes, I'm not fit to throw a panic over not having 60 frames a second. Because if you look at the last Star Wars game that people was playing in fidelity mode, not knowing they was playing the game at 30 frames per second. Thinking they was playing at 60 and was playing it at 30 frames per second and didn't even know it. And was praising the game too.
Playtales drop some rats and give us 30.
Well, we don't know. We don't know what Ty Howard was going to do after the game release. We don't know if a performance mode is going to come or anything like that. Yeah, we get you. Shout out to James Thomas with the $5. Nah, bro, that wasn't against StarField. It's for all the 30 frames per second talk and strength of hardware of the Xbox Series X. So we know the console is capable. Yes, the console is capable. Phil came out and told y'all and said, look, it's not a platform issue. The console can do it. It can do it.
Man, even with that 120 or 60, y'all niggas still trash at games. Y'all like y'all real shooters out here. Some of y'all niggas still trash that game with 60.
Yeah. And that Plague's Tale 60 frames per second came later. It came through an update. So if you could wait for that, you could wait for an update to StarField if it happens. Right now, let them get the game out the door in the proper way. Because y'all never gonna be satisfied if the game comes out, say they do a performance mode, 30, 60, and all these modes, and the game come out buggy as fuck, y'all still gonna find something to complain about. Then it's not going to be about the 60 frames. It's going to be Bethesda all over again. They can't never ship a game without this bug. This is fucked up. Look at all this. This shit trash. If with all this bug, they was too focusing on 60 frames and all this, they should have been focusing on trying to get all these bugs on it. They can't, whatever they would have did, man, y'all going to complain. I don't know why it's like that with Microsoft. No matter what they do, ain't nobody out there giving Final Fantasy XVI that energy. When the developers came out and said it was going to be 4K 60, when the PlayStation Nation out there celebrating, talking about 4K Final Fantasy, and then you play the demo and it's struggling to hit 60. It's struggling to hit 60, and y'all ain't seeing shit. Y'all ain't hitting, none of y'all keep the same energy with Square Enix. Ain't nobody on Twitter making no tweets about Square Enix and Final Fantasy 16 struggling to hit 60. Huh? But y'all want to sit up here and tell me about motherfucking StarField? Man, y'all gotta stop this, man. Mr. Kingman, the mod community gonna go crazy. I'm just saying, keep the same energy. But y'all can't. Because y'all want to keep the energy on StarField and not about Final Fantasy 16, talking about that folk. And a lot of Sony games do that. They tell you it's gonna be 4K 60, and then when that shit come out, it don't be hitting 60. And then y'all run to that 40 frames in VR. Oh, I'm good, because it man, miss me with that shit. Y'all still gonna play StarField, just like Melo said. All right, so we're gonna go to the last topic of the night before we get up on out of here. You feel me, Melo?
They gonna talk already all know, that bro.
Shit, and they still go bad, bro. Kratos.
Like, them same.
Go ahead.
I'm about to say them the same cats that like they don't like the big girl, but then you be seeing them over there at 8, 9 o'clock at night at the big girl crib, man. Stop playing.
Big girls got that wet, boy. I'm telling you.
You already know.
You can sleep on it if you want to. You know what I'm saying?
And you gonna get a meal.
You know what I'm saying? I was gonna say stuff, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Let me get off this topic. Okay, so we're gonna get to the ABK stuff. So we're gonna start here. Let me switch here. So we find out that Microsoft and Activision Blizzard asked a U.S. judge on Wednesday to quickly schedule a case management conference and the Federal Trade Commission's legal bid to block the companies from completing a $69 billion tie-up. So what that means is that a day or so ago, the FTC filed a motion for TRO, which is a temporary restraining order, as well as a preliminary injunction, right? And the temporary restraining order was granted. It's granted in 99% of the cases. Microsoft expects this, and it's granted that way because it gives the judge time to get caught up on the case and stuff like that. Luckily, the judge that this case is going to sit with is the same judge that just decided the gamer suit, which was pretty much trying to get the same thing, a preliminary injunction to block this case. So she's already familiar with the case and everything, right? U.S. District Judge Era Davila on Tuesday said a June 22nd, 23rd evidentiary hearing and temporarily blocked the parties from completing the deal pending a future decision on whether to grant a preliminary injunction. Time is of the essence, the companies wrote in a court filing noting that Microsoft's agreement to acquire Activision has a termination date of July 18 and contains a $3 billion termination fee. That there be no doubt a preliminary injunction ruling is the only decision that matters under these challenging deadlines. Now, we spoke about this. Now, I told y'all about this, right? We spoke about this on multiple occasions, right? Now, we know the FTC and the CMA has been working together, right? And we know that the FTC, well, I'm going to say allegedly to protect myself, got the CMA to block the deal, right? Got the CMA to block the deal, even though they had to fabricate some shit in the cloud sector in order to block it, to come up with something to block it. They got it, the CMA to block it. The reason why the FTC wanted the CMA to block it is because the FTC doesn't have a winning case. At least if you're looking at this case based on the merit and factual evidence, right? The FTC doesn't have a case, right? Also, the FTC bypassed the court, right? Because at that time, the EU hadn't decided on the case, and we knew the UK hadn't decided. And so the FTC felt as though it wasn't no need to outright file a preliminary injunction when there's a chance that either the UK or the CMA might decide against it. In this case the EU went with it based off behavioral remedies, and they passed the deal. The UK blocked the deal, right? After the UK blocked the deal, the FTC still didn't go for a preliminary injunction, because at that point, the way the UK is blocking it, which is on a global level, and I don't even know if that's legal or not, the FTC didn't feel the need to go to the judge because of the UK block, right? Because of the UK block. So what the FTC was going to do is their main objective was to run the time out, run the clock out. And that's why the FTC filed when they did, right? And that's why they got it the next trial date for the the administrative law judge, which is the FTC's in-house court system. They got it in the court they set for August, right? I think it's August 2nd, somewhere up in there, right? So the FTC all this time is really not trying to fight this case. They don't want to fight this case. They want to run the time out and force either Microsoft or Activision to walk away. But what happened? What happened? Well, this is what happened. Microsoft, being smart and using the press this whole time as their weapon against this case, got the media, right? The media started circulating that there was a possibility that Microsoft might close over the FTC and the CMA, despite the CMA blocking it, right? Then you get that interview with Satya Nadella, where they asked him about carving the UK out or doing things like that. And Satya Nadella didn't give a straight answer. He just said, we'll see how this plays out. Then you start getting articles on Microsoft hiring new lawyers to figure out ways around the CMA. Now you're planting the seed. If you're Microsoft, you're planting the seed, right? You're planting the seed because you know the FTC is watching, right? So you're planting the seed, right? Because you know the FTC is watching, right? You at the same time you're doing that, you're in the case management hearing with CAT, the tribunal, right? With the tribunal, right? which is the commission that oversees the appealing process for decisions that the CMA make, right, or mergers and acquisitions. And then both case management hearings, you pretty much got the best of the CMA, right? It's not looking good, right? So while you're doing that, if you're in the FTC shoes, you're looking at this case hearing and you're looking at the lawyer from the CMA, stuttering his way through this hearing, right? Not being able to answer certain questions and trying to do the same thing the FTC is doing by prolonging the case, trying to get the appeal process pushed back way beyond the final date, because you don't really want to fight this case. You want time to run out so either Microsoft or Activision can make the choice for you, because at the end of the day, you know that your decision wasn't based on facts and it was based off messed up numbers that you fabricated. So the FTC and the CMA is in the same spot. They're playing this 1-2 game, helping each other. And it's crazy that you have a foreign regulator, a domestic regulator of the United States using a foreign entity to block a U.S. company, right? That's what it's come down to, right? So you're planting a seed, right? So all last week, we've been hearing about in the news about Microsoft finding ways to close over the CMA or close this merger, regardless of the CMA's decision, right? So what Lena Khan and them doing? They watching. So if you're in Lena Khan position, you have to make a decision. You have to figure out, is Microsoft bluffing, or are they really going to try to close this deal despite the CMA making their decision? Right? So you have to make that determination. Determination was that Lena Khan them did was that Microsoft went to them and pretty much said, look, anytime after June 15, we're going to close this thing out. Right? So just think where we're at. You have the seeds planted. You have the seed planted by Microsoft that it's a possibility that they're going to close over the CMA. And enough news circulated that kind of convinced the FTC that they would. Then Microsoft told the FTC, anytime after June 15, we're going to close this down, right? So what did the FTC do? They took the bait. And they ran their ass right to federal court, right? Right to the North District of California, and filed a motion for a temporary restraining order and a preliminary injunction, right? If you haven't been following this case, you would think that was a win for the FTC. Well, it's not, because this is where Microsoft been wanting to get the FTC in the first place, in front of a federal judge. And they achieved that, right? By bluffing the FTC into making them think that they was going to close over the FTC and the CMA, despite the CMA blocking. So now you got them right where you want it, right? Now you got them right where you want it. Let me bring this out. Let me come here. And let me see here. Where is it? Just that. Let me see here. I need to go down. Give me just a second here. All right. Let me bring this up too while I'm talking about this, right? So now you got them where you want it, right? And it's perfect timing, because in the midst of that, you got UK lawyers saying that the case in the tribunal with the CAT over in with the appealing process is leaning in Microsoft's favor. You got the expedient acceptance of the process, meaning the CAT is fast tracking this case. They're trying to get this thing done in, I think, a 5-day period too, starting July 28th, which is past the cutoff date. But either one thing is going to happen. I think it's already in a merger agreement that it can get extended upon that date. But it could be incentives that Microsoft gives Activision for extending beyond that date, needing a little more time. It's things they can do. They can give them. They don't have to give them all the $3 billion. They can give them an upfront cost, right? It could be through dividends, right? It could be through a monthly payment, or they can get portions of that $3 billion. It's multiple options and things they could put in place to incentivize the Activision shareholders to get it extended beyond July 18th to get this thing worked out. Because we know the appeal process, the CAT tribunal is trying to get that shit done in 5 days, right? So now that the FTC took the bait, they had to file for the TRO. They get the TRO. It was a misconception out there that the TRO would have 14 days, will only last 2 weeks, and then after the 2 weeks, Microsoft will be able to close. But that's a misconception. So what happened was the TRO is in place until the judge makes its final decision, right? Then after the judge makes its final decision, that TRO will remain in place 5 days after the final decision. After the final decision is made, and then those 5 days pass, depending on what decision the federal judge makes, if it is in Microsoft's favor, then after the 5 days, after the federal court judge make their decision, Microsoft will be able to close over the FTC, approve the deal in the United States, right? So what does that happen? What happens then? It leaves the CMA out there on their own, right? At that point, one or two things are going to happen. Either the CMA is going to stand their ground, or they're going to say, we're going to come to a deal. We're going to come to a deal. So it's a chance that this might not even get to the appeal process with CAT. If Microsoft can do what they need to do, right? Because we got to think, the appeal process for the CAT isn't until July 28th. We got time, right? The reason why I say that is because the case, which is going to take 5 days, where is that? Where is that? Let me see here. It should be up here somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna read that too. Okay. All right. The CAT case, which you see the 21st, the 22nd, the 27th, the 28th, and the 29th, right? Microsoft you got to put the 23rd in there too. Microsoft is going to get there 5 days, right? Let me bring this up. It's here, right here. The 23rd of June will be a hearing as well. The court docket was different from the order that went with it, hence the confusion. So it is 5 days, right? So Microsoft is going to get 5 days to prove their case and to bring in the evidence and everything they need to prove that the FTC is wrong in this case. If Microsoft, right, could win that in that 5 days, it might take a week, right? It might take a week for them to get their final answer from the judge, either a week or less. At that point, you're rolling into the beginning of July, right? So if around the beginning of July, if Microsoft win that preliminary injunction ruling and the FTC lose that case, around the beginning of July, Microsoft can close on the FTC, right? And close the merger in the United States, right? That will leave the CMA out there by themselves, right? That means you have 40 countries or 41 countries, including the United States, that agree with this merger. Then you got the CMA out there on the limb by themselves as being the only one opposed to it. In a climate, right? In a climate where the UK is being looked at as being closed for business in terms of the international community regarding investments and people wanting to do business there, right? You got all of that going. You got people who question the UK, the economy. Is it feasible to do business there? Is this what we're going to have to go through if we try to merge or do a merger and acquisition? Are we going to go through the same thing that Microsoft is going through? So all of this stuff is coming into question. Then you got Parliament that's questioning the CMA decision, and so many other parts of that government questioning the CMA decision as well. If Microsoft can close on the FTC and it doesn't get the FTC doesn't get the preliminary injunction, I do believe that the CMA will rather come to an agreement with Microsoft, whether opposed to lose or be stuck in a predicament where they the only one out there challenging this deal and look even worse than what they look now, especially with the whole international community watching this deal right now. So Microsoft been playing chess. Microsoft been playing chess this entire time, right? They bluffed the FTC into going to court because they knew the FTC was using the administrative law judge, the court system, to prolong this case beyond the final date to force Microsoft and Activision to walk away from the case, from the merger. And the CMA was trying to do the same thing. But Microsoft bluffed the FTC and said, look, we're going to close. We don't care what the CMA, what decision they made, because if it comes down to it, we'll take their ass to court too, because they're trying to police the world. They're trying to say they have jurisdiction over the whole world, and we can take that to court and say it's illegal, and that their jurisdiction is only confined to the UK. So Microsoft put both. It's still an opportunity. It's still a chance that this thing could get closed before the July 18th. Now, I'm not saying it will. Right? But I'm saying that it's an opportunity. It's a chance. It's a possibility, right? It's a possibility that this thing get closed before July 18th, right? So let's break this down, right? So the motion from the FTC, we got a few highlights here. Shout out to IDAS. It says pretty much the FTC, they don't want to delay the process. Microsoft don't want to delay the process. They want to start sooner and have a 5-day hearing instead of 2. Initially, the court had ordered a 2-day trial, meaning Microsoft was going to have to fit all that the evidence and stuff in 2 days, and the judge was going to make his decision. Microsoft got that expanded to 5. Almost everything was ready for the administrative process. Only expert depositions remain. So all the paperwork and everything that they was getting ready for the administrative law judge trial, they got all ready together. The only thing is depositions and stuff like that. Microsoft suggests that the FTC has been stalling the process since December 22. Microsoft didn't expect a decision from the administrative judge until December 2023 and January 2024 at the earliest. Y'all see why Microsoft did what they had to do. It's no point of dragging this thing all the way to the end of the year. We don't got that type of time, right? And if it goes on that long, it's still a chance that the Activision shareholders might want to just walk away and feel as though it ain't worth it, right? And then it say it looks like the FTC motion for temporary restraining order relies heavily on 350 pages of reports submitted by their expert, Dr. Robin Lee. Understand this. Since December 2022, right, the FTC has one expert. That lets you know they weren't trying to go to trial with this case. That lets you know they was trying to play the waiting game and hoping that Microsoft and Activision will walk away. Microsoft got 3 experts. Microsoft and Activision have 3 experts. They have one expert with 350 pages submitted, right? So we're gonna go through this real quick because you're gonna kind of get a layout of what the FTC has been doing. It says, for the express purpose of being ready to conduct a fulsome hearing in federal court in the event the FTC sought a preliminary injunction, not two simultaneous proceedings in a federal and an administrative court. Meaning, you have the administrative trial and then you have the preliminary injunction that's in federal court. Those are two simultaneous proceedings. The parties agreed to expedite the pretrial matters in the FTC administrative proceeding that has been pending since December, right? It's no need for Microsoft to fight the administrative law trial if we're going to go to court, right? Federal court, because the federal court supersedes the administrative law judge. And if Microsoft wins the preliminary injunction and the FTC doesn't get it, then Microsoft can close and don't have to worry about the administrative law judge anymore, because that trial will be non-applicable at that point. Because the final say, the federal court is the only court system. I think the federal or circuit court. The federal or circuit court, I believe, is the only court system that can grant a preliminary injunction. The only court. The only court. So even if the administrative law judge was against it, it still would have went to federal court anyway, right? So this speeds up the process for Microsoft. It gets the FTC in front of a federal judge where the Microsoft can plead their case with the facts and expose the FTC for what they really tried to do. And that was not try to put this in front of a federal judge, but prolong this in their in-house court system, right? Just like the CMA, right? Because a lot of people want to bring up the 60% fail rate in terms of the CMA 60% success rate in terms of appeals, right? But that 60% numbers is inflated, because the reason why the number is so high is because most businesses or corporations walk away from the deal. They don't fight the CMA. They don't appeal it. They just walk away from it. That's why the 60% number is so high, right? And that's why we're in unprecedented territories in this case, because this is the first merger of this time for this much money. All right, so we're going to keep going, right? Let me see. The parties agreed to expedite pretrial matters in an FTC administrative proceeding that has been pending since December. The parties have completed fact discovery. Discovery is really expensive. And exchange witness lists, exhibits lists, and expert reports. Only one step remains before the case is ready for trial. Expert depositions, which are currently set to take place between June 21st and 30th. But that's not going to take place now, right? Because Microsoft is going to be in the federal court pleading their case. The only thing I'm talking about is that this will be non-public, right? This will be non-public. So it's not going to be on Zoom or anything like that. And that's understandable, because there's going to be a lot of confidential information being exposed in that trial. So hopefully we get somebody from the press that's there to kind of transcribe everything so we can get live updates on what's going on. I know somebody asked me, was I flying out to I'm not flying out to California. No, man, I'm all the way in Chicago. I ain't flying out to no California for that. The case has been moving at this fast pace because time is of the essence. The merger agreement by which Microsoft seeks to acquire Activision has a termination date of July 18, 2023. The agreement also contains a $3 billion termination fee. The FTC filed an administrative complaint in December 22, right? But they chose to file this suit seeking a court order of indeterminate length to prevent the transaction from closing 6 months after filing its administrative complaint and only 6 weeks before the termination date. The FTC knows that a preliminary injunction decision will determine whether the transactions succeed or fails. Yet the council claims that the preliminary injunction is required only to ensure there is time to complete the administrative process. That doesn't make sense. Why would you get a preliminary injunction, right? For you to get more time to complete the administrative process, where if the judge grant the preliminary injunction to block the case, then the deal is over. Then the deal is over. It doesn't make sense. Right? Let there be no doubt. A preliminary injunction ruling is the only decision that matters under these challenging deadlines. Right? If we're going to federal court now, we're not concerned about the administrative law judge anymore. We're not concerned about the FTC in-house, because at the end of the day, this merger and acquisition boils down to that preliminary injunction. If it's granted, the merger is over. Microsoft walks away. Activision walks away. It's over. If it's not granted and it's in Microsoft's favor, Microsoft closed over the FTC and put the CMA in the corner where they're going to have to make a decision. The FTC hearing is set to start after the termination date, right? When they did that intentionally. There will be no decision until late December 2023 or early January 2024 at the earliest. That decision will not be final because the FTC recently concluded that such decisions are recommendations, right? Remember, the FTC just made that change to their law, meaning that whatever decision that the judge make from the in-house court system, the AL judge, whatever decision make, it's not a final decision. It's only a recommendation to the FTC. So the FTC, and they just recently made that change. The FTC think they're slick. I got to see the kind of shady bullshit the FTC been pulling, you know what I'm saying? From trying to prolong this whole thing past the date to try to force Microsoft and Activision to walk away. Then they go change that law that states that the administrative law judge decision is no longer final and that it's only a recommendation to the FTC, right? Which puts the power back into the hands of the FTC, right? But it's only one court system that could grant a preliminary injunction or a block, and that's the federal court, all right? And Microsoft, and I'm glad Microsoft's seen this, right? Let me see here. The decision will not be final because the FTC recently concluded that such decisions are recommendations subject to the review of the commissioners who authorized the complaint. So the FTC said, look, we're going to go change this law. The administrative law judge, your decision is no longer final. What it does is it becomes a recommendation, and it becomes recommended back to us who filed the complaint in the first place. Yo, that's some CMA shit. That's like in the CMA, in the appeal process, when the tribunal decides to quash some of the CMA's decisions or remittal or the remittal process, where it gets remitted back to the CMA, back to the same person who made the decision in the first place to block the deal, right? And guess what? The CMA can still find ways to block it. The FTC is trying to grant themselves that same power. You feel me? This shit is crazy, right? This shit is crazy, right? Right. And it says, subject to the review of the commissioners who authorized the complaint, a lengthy process that always result in a decision in the FTC's favor. Yep. Because it goes back to the FTC, who gonna stand 10 toes down and blocking the deal anyway, right? So what Microsoft did was, look, we're gonna take this decision out of your hands. we're going to take this decision out of your hands. And we're going to put it in the hands of the court, and we're going to rely on our merits and our facts, the facts of the case, to get this shit done. Because if we linger on in your in-house court system, then we fall into that net of you guys trying to prolong the case or putting the power back into y'all hands. And if we win the preliminary injunction and it's in Microsoft's favor, right, you can't go against it unless you get our approval. And we're not doing that. All right. So defendant's only recourse at that point is an appeal to a circuit court. Overall, this process takes several years, a time frame no merger could survive. Right? You see that? Several years, a time frame, and that's going through the circuit court. Microsoft saying, look what the FTC done, right? We go through the in-house court system, right? We got to wait all the way into December 2020, December of this year to early January 2024, just for a final decision from the in-house court system, which is way past the final date, right, of July 18th, right? We do that, right? We way past that deadline. Meaning that whatever extension that we worked out with Activision, we're not only going to be paying these lawyers, but we're going to be coming off bread to Activision too, to maintain the extension for that amount of time, to preventing them just from walking away, right? We're going to have to incentivize them. We're going to have to incentivize Activision shareholders for that long in order to keep them at the table. We are spending a lot of money here, right? On top of the 75 billion that we're trying to use to get to complete this acquisition, right? So we're spending a lot of motherfucking money here. So what you're telling us is we got to wait to that time, pretty much early next year, to get a definitive answer. And even if we win in the in-house court system, the judge decision is not final. It's only a recommendation to you, the FTC. It's recommended back to you, the FTC, right? Who can take that and do whatever y'all want with it. And then even if we go through an appeal process through a circuit court, that can take years. Nigga, we ain't finna be spending that much. You see what this is the FTC's plan. This is what they were trying to do. But Microsoft been smart. Microsoft been real smart. The FTC been slick as hell. You're trying to make us wait that long for a decision, and then even if we win the decision in the in-house court, it's not a decision that's final. It's you only recommending that the case was in our favor to the FTC, who it goes back to, and then they can wrap us all up in this shit again, and we'll be wrapped in this shit for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. No, we good. We good. So to be clear, defendants have no interest in delaying the resolution of this matter, right? But the defendants respectfully submit that a hearing of 2 days is not enough time to present the issues in this case, and that further discussion of the schedule is warranted, right? The stakes of this case are high, and it involves important legal, factual, and economic issues. At a minimum, the defendants, Microsoft and Activision, believe the court should allow the hearing to extend into the week of June 26 to permit expert discovery to conclude before the conclusion of the hearing, particularly given that the FTC's motion for a temporary restraining order relies heavily on the reports submitted by their expert, Dr. Robin Lee, right? So Microsoft saying, look, 2 days, y'all expect this shit to get all this information and data that we need to prove our case? We don't have enough time to do this in 2 days. The FTC want 2 days because they got one expert. And the less time and the less amount of information that we can provide to this case, it weakens Microsoft's position. And that's why the FTC is against extending it, right? Extending the case, which they pretty much lost that, even though the FTC is going to issue a motion tomorrow for the court to deny that 5-day extension of the case. We'll see, though. Shortly after the deal was announced, the FTC opened an investigation into the proposed acquisition. During the FTC's nearly year-long investigation, the defendants produced millions of documents. So Microsoft and Activision produced millions of documents and sat for several investigational hearings, right? They did all this. On December 8th, 2022, the FTC filed an administrative complaint before the FTC Office of Administrative Law Judges seeking to bar the transaction from under Section 7 of the Clayton Act and Section 5 of the FTC Act. So remember that day when the FTC filed with the administrative law judge to bar this. We remember that everybody thought it was blocked, but it wasn't. Unlike in most other merger challenges where the FTC simultaneously files a case in federal court, because only a federal court has the power to preliminarily enjoin the transaction. The FTC delayed filing a federal action until Monday, right? Which was this past Monday. Instead, the FTC initially scheduled an administrative hearing before the FTC chief, ALJ, on an 8-month calendar rather than a 5-month calendar, right? That had the effect of setting the hearing for August 2nd. So, what the FTC the FTC intentionally done is because they wanted the hearing to be beyond the close date of the July 18th, right? They had the effects of setting the hearing for August 2nd, 2023, when there was no preliminary injunction proceeding, and when it was clear that the transaction's termination date was July 18th, 2023, was weeks before the hearing would even begin, right? So the FTC did this intentionally, right? They knew the closing date was July 18th. Yeah. You feel me? They knew it was July 18th. And yet they moved in a way to get the hearing in August because they trying to force the shareholders' hands. They're trying to force the share. They want the shareholders to make the decision for them because they don't want to plead this case in federal court. To be prepared for the possibility that the FTC might eventually file a motion for preliminary injunction in federal court in this matter, the parties have been cooperating to expedite pretrial matters so that a federal judge can decide the matter in a timely fashion. So Microsoft planned ahead of this. Microsoft knew this was going to happen. They was already preparing for it. They were already preparing for it. So what they do, right? Fact discovery is completed. An expert discovery will close on June 23, with one deposition taking place on June 30th by agreement of the parties. The FTC has disclosed one expert who has submitted over 350 pages of reports, currently set to be deposed on June 21st, and whom they principally rely upon in seeking emergency relief from this court. Defendants have disclosed 3 experts, currently set to be deposed between June 21st and the 30th. So this whole time, the FTC has relied on one fucking expert. Well, number one. 2, they're still going to the court with the same issues that they had prior to the EU closing, prior to the UK blocking, right? So they're still dealing with the 3. Console, right? Harming the console, lessening of competition with the console, lessening competition in the cloud, and then Microsoft incentives to keep Call of Duty off the PlayStation. And if you've been following this, you already know the EU dismissed the console SLC. So the FTC going to court with a losing battle that all the that 39 or 40 other regulators didn't already cleared and said that there's no SLC in the console. There's no lessening of competition in the console. The EU, and despite the UK blocking this deal, the UK agreed that there was no lessening of competition in the console space. The UK also agreed that Microsoft had no incentive of taking Call of Duty off PlayStation.
Right.
Yeah, y'all see why the FTC didn't want to get in front of a federal judge? They're going in there.
Gets debunked. Literally get debunked.
Yeah, they're going in there with old arguments.
Yeah.
They're going in there with old arguments that the regulators did already dismissed. Right? And then we know the argument with the cloud about the cloud not being the market. It's just another form of, it's just another distribution method, things like that. We know the made up numbers that the UK used to block. And we know what the EU has said, that this is pro-competitive. So the FTC is in a bind right now, right? Now, Blase, they're not going to try to drink. That's why Microsoft is getting this expedited, right? So it goes on, the defendant, which is Microsoft and Activision, sees two issues with the court's suggested path forward, both of which would benefit from further discussion. First, the hearing date is currently set during expert discovery. While defendants are prepared to accelerate the pace of expert discovery, defendants submit that the parties in court will benefit from having the experts disposed prior to the close of trial. Let me see this. Let me do this here. Can you give me just a second? All right. So let me do this. Okay. So we've been talking about expert discovery. I got my AI put, my Bing AI up here. While we read this, I want to kind of educate myself and you all on some of the lingo that's being presented in here. So expert discovery is a period of time during which the parties exchange information about what the experts will say. This exchange usually occurs by deposing the experts. Expert discovery in complex cases can last several months. Once both stages of discovery are complete, the court will set a trial date. Okay, so that's what expert discovery is. All right, that's what expert discovery means. Okay. All right, let's see here. Let's keep going. Okay, this is particularly so because the FTC's motion for a temporary restraining order relies. Okay, we did that. No, okay, that's particularly so because the FTC's motion for a temporary restraining order relies heavily on the testimony of his expert and the reports he submitted, making it all the more important that the court have a full and complete expert record when adjudicating the FTC's motion, right? Second, while defendants believe the evidence can be presented expeditiously, yeah, y'all thought I was gonna fuck that word up, then y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to T.I. You know what I'm saying? That was his favorite. Second, while the defendants believe the evidence can be presented expeditiously, defendants are not aware of situations where a matter of this scope and importance was decided on just 2 days of testimony. On the contrary, the federal court preliminary injunction hearings typically last at least 5 days, presumably because the hearing is the only one that will ever take place, right? So look, this is the end all be all, right? Look, there's all this administrative law judge that the FTC is saying they need this preliminary injunction to get in more. All that's BS. This is the final determination. Final countdown. You feel me? This is the final countdown. Look, let's not try to do this in 2 days. Let's extend this in 5 days. Let's give each side a chance to to submit their testimony in terms of their expert discoveries and present their information. In fact, because this one here is for all the marbles. The decision that we gets here supersede any trial or any case that we have with the in-house court system with the FTC. So that's bullshit that the FTC is telling you. Let's get this to 5 days. Let us prove our case, and then we'll wait for you to make that determination. If we can get a determination by the beginning of July, and it's in our favor, we close the deal 5 days after that determination, and then we'll have to solely focus on the CMA, who's going to be in a predicament as being one of the only regulators that's been against this deal. And then also, what's important of this is if the judge rules in Microsoft's favor, the reason why she ruled and how she comes to her conclusion of ruling in Microsoft's favor will be important, because I'm pretty sure Microsoft is going to take whatever the ruling the judge made and why she made it, if it goes in their favor, they're going to take that to the commissions of the tribunal over to the CMA and say, look, because you got to think the CMA in the FTC arguments are pretty much one and the same outside of the console SLC, right? They're pretty much one and the same. So if Microsoft win, right, and get their preliminary injunction dismissed, closed, and Microsoft take that information over to the CMA, right? Because remember in that first case management where the CMA lawyer said that the FTC was going to file for a preliminary injunction long before Monday came, and then Mr. Bill, Microsoft lawyer, asked him, "Well, how you know?" And then the judge, I think Judge Smith, if I'm not mistaken, told the CMA, well, why would the Federal Trade Commission file for a preliminary injunction if they know you already blocked the merger? Think about it. Yes, Trayvon, think about it.
That ain't right.
Yeah, think about it. Why would the FTC file for a preliminary injunction if they know you already blocked the merger? So what did Microsoft do? Microsoft is trying to get this done before July 18th, right? I'm pretty sure it's something in place that if it goes Shanelo, I pretty think if it goes beyond July 18th, that Microsoft and Activision got an agreement in place. I don't know what that is or what incentives come from it, but Microsoft is not trying to get this past July 18th. Yeah. If they can get this closed before July 18th, they're going to try their damnedest to do it. They're going to try their damnedest to do it. And I think there's a possibility that if Microsoft can get that preliminary injunction dismissed and win in court and close over the FTC in early July, then that's going to force the CMA into a situation where they're either going to stand their ground and try to go through with the appeal, or they're going to come to the table with Microsoft and get something done, and this shit get closed before July 18th. That's where we're at. That's where we're at in this case. And so far, Microsoft is really doing good in the United States and the CMA, because the CMA tried to get the tribunal to push their appeal back to August as well. And they was trying to get it pushed back to August or October, because they know that's around the same time that Microsoft will be in court or in trial with the FTC, with their in-house. See, they're working. Y'all got to see, man. Everybody want to talk about we conspiracy theorists and all that. Y'all got these motherfuckers is working together. Lena Khan got their in-house trial starting at August 2nd. The CMA was trying to push the tribunal to push their appeal back to August or October around the same time. The CMA and the FTC are trying to do the same thing, prolong the situation and make Microsoft and Activision walk away. But the tribunal didn't go for it. And the tribunal is saying we could get this done in 5 days as well. But it starts July 28th. So what did Microsoft do? Oh, if that starts July 28th, that's just a couple days from the in-house trial that starts August 2nd with the FTC. So what did Microsoft do? Well, let's circulate this closing issue with the CMA and that we're ready to close. Let's get the FTC, let's bluff the FTC into believing that we're going to close in the United States and we're willing to close over the CMA. Right? And they did. The FTC reacted, and when it filed a temporary restraining order in their preliminary injunction, which gets this case in front of a federal court and out of the in-house court system of the FTC, whether the final decision of this case can be decided long before August. That way, if the CMA decides to stand 10 toes down and follow the appeal, then we go into July 28th only worrying about the CMA and not worrying about going to trial with the FTC in their in-house court system in August. Because if the federal court agree if the federal court agree or file in our way, then it's a wrap. Yes, it was, Undersea. It was a wrap. It was a pump fake to get the FTC to run to federal court. We got them in federal court now. Ain't no turning back now. They done filed the motion. Now we know we have a winning case. If we can get them, now we know we have a winning case. If we can get them out of the picture by the beginning of July, that leads to CMA. That means the CMA is out on their limb by itself because New Zealand then already ran out of time. We could close there. Canada too. Canada then passed this time too. We can close there. Even though those don't matter because the merger agreements only stipulates 4. And that's China, United States, EU, and the UK. We have China, we have the EU. If they decide in Microsoft's favor, we got the United States. The CMA is out there by themselves. And while them struggling, trying to make sure they maintain business in their own city, what they gonna do? Is they gonna stand out of the limb against 40 other countries, 40 or 41 other countries? Or 42, 43 other countries? Yes, sir. This is chess.
You know, I'm going victory lap. You know, I've been stuck on my victory lap, man. It looks like it's going through in August. What do you think?
It could go through before August. That's what I'm telling you.
Hey, I'm just saying, you know, me, I predicted August, so I'm rolling with that comfort level right now. But even with it being like approved and when is it done, how soon do you think they're gonna be rolling out the games for? Do you think they already got something in the tuck ready to roll out? Right.
Well, the Call of Duty agreement with Sony is not over until 2024, I think. So Call of Duty is not gonna be in Game Pass if this deal closes after it closes. It depends on how everything play out. Right? Okay. It depends on how everything play out. But you can bet Diablo 4 and all the other games, that shit gonna be in Game Pass.
Oh, so you think they gonna roll out Diablo 4 in the Game Pass?
Yeah, why wouldn't they? Oh, it ain't nothing no contractual obligation. Microsoft own the marketing to Diablo 4. It's not under no contractual obligation with Sony. Only Call of Duty. So all Activision's other IPs, Overwatch, Diablo, for all that shit, PC and Game Pass, Ultimate. PC and Game Pass, period. All Activision IP going straight into Game Pass except COD. And when that Sony PlayStation agreement is over, then all the Call of Duty's gonna hit Game Pass. But Microsoft is in the position to get this done before July 18th. Because if they get the FTC out the way, it's already the CMA is already in the UK is already overwhelmed with pressure now from this whole ordeal from the CMA blocking. They already under pressure from the CMA blocking this shit.
Oh yeah, you right, Trayvon, because they was promoting Overwatch. So
yeah, look, man,
makes sense.
I don't know if look, I don't know if things gonna play out exactly like we want them to. It's a wait and see for me. It really is, but I am the utmost optimistic that Microsoft can get this done before July 18th. Because if the federal if the FTC get taken off the board, which we gonna know very soon, because today is the 14th. Today is next week. This shit going down. You feel me? Next week, this shit going down. And if by next week going into next month, that Microsoft could get the FTC off the board, then I do believe the CMA is going to try to work with Microsoft to get this shit done. Because they'll be a fool to be out there by themselves against all the other regulatory bodies, given the position they're in terms of the UK itself and businesses want to do dealings there. Because if they go out and try to fight this alone, Mello, then they're not going to do nothing but push companies away from doing business there. Because big tech and other companies are going to say, if that can happen to Microsoft, that can happen to us.
Yeah.
So
a good question.
So we'll see, man. We'll see, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm finna go ahead and close out. It's almost midnight where I'm at, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and always supporting the platform and always supporting the channel and stuff like that. We finally got a real good update on the Activision Blizzard stuff. It's going to be exciting over the next couple of weeks, man. Y'all stay tuned to our channel. Stay tuned to us on Twitter as we continue to update y'all on what's going on. And so, yeah, man, it's the end game. It's the end game time. It's either now or never. And we're gonna see. Somebody gonna sink. Somebody gonna swim. We're gonna see how this goes, man. I'm up out of here, man. We up out of here. Thank y'all for always supporting.
Y'all on your way out.
Thank y'all for always supporting State of Gaming. We out. Hold on, let me see here.
Oh, my bad for the headset too, man. I had to go babysit the little one, so my bad.
Oh no, you good.
My bad for the audio.
Let's go.
It's a few people probably praying on my downfall. Good on my own, I don't wanna be around y'all. I'm impatiently waiting so I can sound off. Trying from the hip so I can get this fucking round
I done walked in monster small, still tall against the giants. I ain't never been complaining, I promise I'm too defiant. I ain't never crossed my niggas, ain't never turned my back, but been unfaithful to my chick. Where's the integrity in that? My bank account been overdrafted, the struggle's upon us. That's the type of shit that lead niggas right back to the corners. I'm like a walking contradiction, said fam to the ops. Nigga was a bag off the same thing that damaged my pops. I watched the churches spread lies, enforcing blind allegiance. Been that piece of 2010 when I stopped worshiping Jesus. Still confined, left in the lurch, depression was lurking, my tactics changed. I swear that old ones just wasn't working. Man, you fuck niggas be tweaking like they really be on it. Like I won't give you the whole stick and see my PO in the morning. I ain't monogamous. with hoes, I keep a bed full. Flying off of 2 Zans and 2 cans of Red Bull.
It's a few people probably praying on my downfall. Good on my own, I don't wanna be around y'all. I'm impatiently waiting so I can sound off. Drawing from the hip so I can get this fucking
I keep
round
it on
off.
me at all times. Ain't afraid to burn them. Run up on him in traffic and put a couple in the sternum. Certified. You other niggas happy with fables.
Every time I come in the kitchen,
I'm in the kitchen bumping dope, man, with crack on the table. I can feel the vibes, only hating niggas to knock it. Hit the block with a snub stuff deep in my front pocket. Off a no-dose, you can tell them lame niggas quit frontin'. I've been up for 2 days, thinking I'ma miss something. Phone doing stupid numbers. I'm in the right venue, fucking hoes counting cash, living off the dollar menu. My trip keep me live, the sauce keep me living, hustle keep me paid, allegations kept me in prison. I got it made, man, I've been in special ed. I want all my niggas home. From the state to the feds, I do it for the bottom, the morals and application. More than an adoration, it's all for the affirmation. What you thought,
It's
though?
a few people probably praying on my downfall. Good on my own, I don't wanna be around y'all. I'm impatiently waiting so I can sound off. Drawing from the hip so I can get this fucking round off. It's a few people probably praying on my downfall.